Knees weak, arms are heavy.
Eric, when you asked about where we were, I wanted to be like, well, we're out of the sewers safely, and we've also discovered the biggest secret that we possibly could, and we're on our way to save the world because we know what we're doing.
I was gonna say, I'm pretty sure you guys were still in there because I vaguely remember May having a relatively low roll when she was trying to map out the place on the way down.
Oh,
Yeah, we leveled up, but we are not in a great situation.
You're still in the you're still amongst the nest, we'll say.
Gross.
Also, guess you forgot to level up before right now.
Of course. I would expect nothing less from you.
I believe in you.
That's a god.
Shit.
That's right. Jake was like, "Hey, I have this cool thing that I was thinking of for my character," and I was like, "Yeah, cool." And then we did it, and then I just never put it in D&D Beyond.
Oh yeah.
So if it comes up tonight, we'll play it by ear, but I'll make sure it gets in D&D Beyond.
Would you say, Eric? If it comes
If it comes up tonight for anything, we can play it by ear if you decide you want to use that ability.
When it comes up tonight.
When it comes up tonight.
Hope it doesn't come up tonight.
Oh.
Oh, that's not good.
I don't think anything surprising happened. Oh yeah, that's not good for any of us. I don't think there's anything really that happens with me at level 7.
Just gets 1/4 level spell. That's all I get at 7th level. I had a lot.
I probably get another spell.
Are you just a druid, Michael?
What's that?
Oh yeah, you're just druid.
Oh, yeah, just a druid.
They're fucking overpowered as shit.
Just a druid.
Michael, are we live yet or no?
Yeah.
Yes, we are.
We're bantering now. Catch us at our podcast every Wednesday, 7 p.m. Spotify or wherever you get your local podcasts.
So this
For all the
level 7
homies.
party full of party members who are all completely leveled up and done all of their extra hit points and level up stuff that they're supposed to do. You have just finished speaking with a rather strange individual who said his name was Condido. And after giving you the information that you agreed to let him go for, he disappeared into the waters of the sewer system. And you all are left amidst the rummaging or the rubble and the nest of whatever's left over from this guy's little setup. I believe Whirl, you may have taken a couple of notes and pieces of paper off of the table that were there.
Yes.
And yeah.
So
Who's Whirl?
Buddy.
Whirl.
That smile.
Beechwood?
Oh, Kenai.
Oh,
He's so happy.
That's a
Clarify.
Hey, buddy. Oh, he's getting all the scratches.
He's got the Dobby ears.
He does have the Dobby ears.
Eric, to clarify, he had told us information about the food infestation, like that he was hired by a certain other city, right?
Yes.
He had been hired by where's Lupidium? The city of Lupidium to the east. Hired him to basically create insecurity and discord in the city. But he didn't know the individual person from Lupidium. He wasn't sure exactly who, but they did it on behalf of the government of Lupidium.
Got it.
Yep.
So I gave my notes to Kami, and I don't think Kami's like read through or deciphered them yet.
No, Kami would absolutely. Would I care to read through and decipher them?
May would like to.
Like it was just some writings and things from that were left on the table, scraps of paper.
Oh, that's right. In my possessions, it says notes from Candido, the Rat Man.
Yeah.
I'm not convinced my character can read. So.
Well,
I'm not convinced. I know
That's you, Michael.
I'll go to Whirl and say, Delia. Delia, I'll look at those when we get out of this godforsaken place. I'll take a look at those notes.
Yeah, it's too dark. I can't see anything, and I want to leave. So I think it's time for us to go. Yes, let's get out of the dark, smelly sewers where the rats attack us.
Let's go.
Okay,
let's get out.
Keep an eye out. He mentioned that there's some sketchy stuff setup around here. Don't run into
Ugh.
anything that looks questionable.
Well, yeah, how about we just like backtrack the way we came in?
Right, and I tried to guide us, right, DM?
Well, I think they're talking about the lair that you guys are in, not the sewer system itself.
Okay.
Yeah.
The lair, he said he'd had some safeguards in place in the lair itself.
Ah, yes.
Um,
Which is, yeah.
We should probably leave this room as quickly as possible if there's still safeguards here.
Maeve. I can't see anything. Can I hold your hand and I walk with you?
Aw.
Yeah.
Okay.
Take my hand.
Aw, that's cute.
You can even
I
close your eyes
can't
if you
see,
want, Tommy.
Delia. I can't see anything. It's too dark, and she can see in the dark. She's a crazy
see it.
elf
I
lady.
can see.
She can do it.
It's all right to
I've
be
got us.
slightly dark. It's fine. I get
And
it.
to keep with the theme, my camera went blurry. I can't see.
I can't see you, Tommy. I can't see you. Are you still here? Yeah. You're still here. You're still here.
All
Okay.
right. So you all are basically backtracking through the lair.
Mm-hmm.
So, a fair number of you did some sort of teleportation and or flying to get up there. So what path exactly are you following to get out? Because I think nobody actually took a direct path of walking to get to where you currently are.
Wait, we're up on the thing, right? There's stairs.
There are, but nobody took them to get there.
I did.
No, you swapped with your Echo.
No, he was. Remember, I was going to, but he was helping. He was helping Ziggy, so I went back to Ziggy and I was throwing my axes, and then at the end, I ran up the stairs when the fight was done.
Oh, gotcha. Okay, then yes, you do know about that.
There's stairs over there.
Okay, Tommy, you tell me. The stairs are over there. I can see them. Okay, I've got you. So,
Okay, I'm trusting you. I'm trusting you.
just tell me the exact stairs you walked on to get up here. Can you do that?
There's stairs
The
that go
exact
into the
path?
water, but there's also this little wooden ramp. So I don't know. Which one would you have gone on, Kami?
I think the stairs.
Kind of run and jump across to the stairs?
Yes.
Okay. It's easy enough. There's not a lot of stuff in the way at the moment. Okay. So you all backtrack your way through the lair and back into the tunnel system. And Maeve, you were attempting to sort of record and map the tunnels as you all were coming through.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, I mean, it's the sewers. They all kind of look vaguely sewer-like, you know.
Sewer's gonna
And so you
sewer
kind of go
in.
through and you're like, I think we've been here before. This looks familiar. Kind of consult the map. You kind of run one way and then the next, and eventually you come to a room, and with your dark vision, it looks kind of familiar, but within the 60 feet around you can't really tell exactly if this is the right room or not. And you're kind of stuck on which way to go next.
Hey everyone. This looks familiar. I kind of remember this, but I don't know. I can't. It all looks so similar. I can't tell which is the right way to go.
Would I know? Would it look familiar to me as well?
I think as you were coming through here, hang on, sorry. I mean, it looks like a sewer. Make just a survival check, I guess.
Yeah, I was gonna ask if I could do a survival check.
One. No, well, two.
Hey.
When you were coming down here, you weren't paying attention so much. You were kind of just trudging along, trying to fly and stay out of the sewer water as you were down here. I mean,
Nice.
it looked familiar in the sense that a lot of the tunnels and things you've been going down like have a particular kind of look and feel to them, and this feels like a lot of those, but you don't necessarily know which way to go next in the darkness.
Looks
Again,
like a
you
sewer
only
to me.
it's kind of a large.
Can can I make a Gandalf check and use my nose?
Nobody said otherwise, Delia.
And what do you want to do?
I want to do a Gandalf check and smell for the least foul.
Mm. I'll give you a nature check, but it's gonna be disadvantaged because it all
Oh,
smells pretty
great.
bad.
Nature check?
Oh yeah.
Wonderful.
You want to go by smell? We're gonna go with nature.
All right.
Smell the clean air.
That's gonna be. Let's see. What is my nature? -3. Wonderful.
Minus
19 on the first
-3.
roll and a 20 on the second roll, so that'd be a 16 for nature.
Gosh.
All right, that's pretty good.
15?
16.
No,
19
I
minus
mean
3.
obviously you're not sure like what's the right way based on where you came before, but it feels like the far side of this kind of little cavern that you're in. If wherever you are is not it, right? Like you're definitely deeper in. If you kind of the far side of this little room that you've made it into, seems like maybe there's a small whiff of fresh air coming from across the way.
Smells less bad
You can
now,
also
I
hear
guess.
like some dripping and kind of running water a little bit in the room, but you're having a hard time kind of picking it out.
Cool.
It's dark. It's very dark in this room.
spooky.
Hey Feathers, can you do the stone with light thing again?
Oh yes, I have nobody thought of that until now.
Oh yeah, it's a cantrip. Yes, it is. Yeah. So Zaire will kind of look down and see if there's a stone, and if he sees one, to cast light on it and then toss it into the cavern to illuminate what might be extending beyond our dark vision, or not dark vision in case of comedy.
Okay. Yeah. So you.
It's 20-foot bright light and then a 20-foot additional dim light, and it's going to be colored blue.
What? Okay.
I can
It's
pick the
canon now.
color.
Yeah, so you kind of cast it and you toss it across and you kind of get the layout of this room here. And it is a large kind of open area with an elevated portion on the top that looks like there might be a collapsed doorway or tunnel up at the top of it. Some water kind of in the middle, and then a non-gated door, even though in this picture it's gated, on the far side from where your stone lands on the other side.
Do you have a map up?
I do, yeah. It's on roll 20.
Oh, I just want to get out of here. Oh. Tommy, I still have your hand.
Oh yes, I'm holding on tight. Thank you. I don't like this.
Ah, I don't like this either. Can
So
I
there's
try?
some dim light now on the far side, like
Okay.
somewhere around here, from where the stone ended up landing.
Hello, are there any rats here who plan to jump out of the sewer and attack us?
With the additional light, can I have a better sense of direction? This is starting to look more familiar, I think.
It doesn't look super familiar to you. But Ziggy did get the sense that there was a way out in the far side. So it's up to you if you want to backtrack and try and find the original path again, or to continue through and try and find this new way out based on Ziggy's guidance.
This doesn't look familiar to me.
I have no memory of this place.
Me either.
Yeah.
Don't you do that.
I know that we haven't been through this way before.
I mean,
Oh, I
nothing
thought
as bad as what we dealt with back there. Let's just go.
I thought we said Glitter said that there was a way out this way. No, Glitter, didn't you say that you could smell something? No?
Yeah, it smells less bad that way. but I don't know
Oh.
if that's necessarily anything more than.
I'm getting tired of staying down in this tunnel.
Me
and,
too. Me
Oh.
too.
I say we press ahead.
And this is the way that smells less bad?
This is the way that you brought us. And he says that there's fresh air at the end and it smells less
You're right.
bad.
You're right. You're right. This
Do
is the
we
way that I
wanna-
brought us. I can get us out. I can get us out. Zahir, you're right. You're right. We got this. Let's go.
Do we
Oh, okay. All right, let's go.
do we want someone to
Go.
like make sure there's not those traps the guy was talking about?
Yeah.
Didn't he say those were only in his place?
You trusted him?
Well, I don't know. I mean, he didn't have any reason to lie to us anymore.
That's true.
Yeah.
I did
How
on
would
I-
you
Dylan.
Does somebody want to check for traps in this room?
It should never be me.
I
Not
would.
Would you like to roll perception or investigation?
Investigation.
Okay,
And I would like to roll this.
go ahead. Make
Oh
your,
my god.
Don't break your rule.
Rush.
Her desk breaks,
The camera just goes off. We're like, oh, and she's gone.
and I
Maeve is gone.
the
earthquake out there.
the seismic graph registers an earthquake somewhere in Southern California.
You said the same thing.
And that's a dirty 20.
Hey.
Okay. So with investigation, you're kind of poking around more, like sort of looking into things around here. And so, you're kind of looking around up towards the top. As you do, there's kind of like a little shift in some of the rocks. Some of them kind of, you hear a little bit of a tumble, and like you kind of see some debris kind of splash down into the water below. But there doesn't seem to be any sort of like traps or anything over there. And you make your way to kind of the far end of the room, kind of where the rock ended up. That's still giving off a sort of faint blue glow. For about, I think, 30 feet. Just kind of a 30-foot diameter circle, 20-foot radius.
20-foot bright light, 20-foot dim light.
Okay, so pretty solid radius of light over there. And as you're kind of looking around, poking around, you kind of go to the far side, and you're kind of looking through maybe like kind of the entryway on the far side. And as you get there, you do notice there's like a sort of like a similar shifting in the rocks and the rubble on this far side of it. And you don't notice a trap, but you do notice a strange sort of creature that seems to be kind of burrowing its way out of the wall, with sort of these large pincers in front of it as it just kind of like makes its way into the dim light that's ahead of it. And as you look towards it, I need you to make a charisma saving throw.
Oh no.
Is it still me?
It's just you over there by yourself at the moment.
No, I'm with her because I'm holding her hand.
Okay, well then you would see this as well, so I need you to make a charisma saving throw as well.
I'm gonna beat the motherfucking shit out of this bitch.
I'm not.
Hey.
My
My god.
Uh-oh.
No.
no, don't tell me it's a one.
This is the one. The one.
Okay,
I was scared. Okay, I'll roll. Let's see what I get. Let's see what May has.
Open for tonight.
May has 0 charisma, but maybe right now she's feeling like a 13.
13. Okay. Well, why don't we go ahead and roll some initiative right now?
Love it. It's gonna be a big ol' 11 for me.
Let's go with this.
Not doing well. Right.
I'll message it, yeah.
Once we get down to the sewers, then I find a bug.
There's just been these
Oh, we're doing great, everybody.
following us everywhere.
Okay. Sorry, let me go to our chat.
got a
Oh
12.
yeah, not great from you guys, huh?
Season the
Now I gotta
initiative.
switch up the music on Spotify because now we're down. No, we did not long rest. We just leveled up.
We didn't even short rest.
We didn't
No,
even short rest.
No, correct.
Good.
I got no.
Zero spells. Zero spells at all. Great. Perfect.
This is really bad.
Or really good.
Who could say?
World is
Every
I can say Zaire.
challenge is an opportunity to get better.
Okay.
Oh yeah, you're the optimist. That's definitely fitting to character.
So first up in the initiative order is Zaire, but you don't really notice anything out of the ordinary. You just see them poking around, sort of in the area of the light that you had thrown over there, and you don't really hear anything. You can take an action on your turn if you want, but that's kind of the information that you currently have.
Yeah. No, Zaire's gonna kind of just be like looking around too, like very irritated that he's still down here. Yeah, but he's not gonna be. Where I'm gonna pull up the room real quick. If I was imagining, he'd be like slowly walking up the stairs to the left or to his left, just kind of as they're poking around and deemed that that area was safe.
Just kind of doing your own investigating a little bit, sort of.
Yeah, just kind of like following behind a little bit.
Yeah, that's fair. Okay. It is going to be the Umbra Hulk's turn,
No.
and the Umbra Hulk,
Bueno.
who is burrowing in weight in his little hidey hole, is gonna lunge out at May and is gonna make 2 of its claw attacks against you. Ooh, those are pretty bad though.
Good.
A 16 and a 10.
16 hits, 10 misses.
All right.
Unless we had anything from Ziggy from our last battle to save me. Any extra hit?
I can't see you. So
No, from the time. No. Okay.
I mean, we've definitely been walking around for a while.
You would have still been in your thing, Jess. It would have been in.
Yeah.
Okay.
There you go.
He just
All right,
stayed
you
in the place this whole time, so.
May, you take 8 points of slashing damage. And it's going to make its third attack with its mandibles. And that's a natural 1.
Pincers.
So it goes to just like, it claws at you with its 2 claws, kind of, but as it jumps out into where this light is, it's a dark dwelling creature. And so the light actually throws off its aim. And so it makes 1 claw attack with you and kind of lands it. And then as it tries to bite down with its mandibles, you just see chunks of stone just rip up from the ground as it kind of digs its mandibles into the stone.
No. I'm talking. No.
On your turn, at the beginning of your turn, I need you to make a just roll a d8 for me.
Oh no.
D8?
Yeah.
7.
I need you to make 1 melee attack against May.
Yep.
It's May?
Closest creature to you.
Oh God.
You call me?
She's closer to me than the Umber Hulk?
Yeah, the Umber Hulk is is basically in between the 2 of you.
Oh my God. Okay. Just 1 melee attack?
1 melee attack, that's it.
Wait, we're gonna get out of this, okay? We gotta just stick together, okay? We gotta stick together.
Bam!
As long as I have you.
That's a dirty 20.
Okay. You're not raging. You don't have the glaive up or anything like that. So just roll your regular damage.
Whoa.
I'm not using the glaive.
You're using glaive, but not the
Right. Yeah. That's 14 slashing.
She is down.
I'm down. I go unconscious.
Okay, and that's going to be the end of Kami's turn.
Oh
Talk about
my
a plot.
God.
I just went for extra flavor. I am saying to you, I'm holding your hand. We just got to stick together. We're going to make it through. And you just, I don't know, Eric, what does he do? What does it look like?
Fucking impaled.
So basically right now, Kami is essentially like confused by the gaze of the Umber Hulk. And so in kind of like this fit of like confusion, he just lashes out in the darkness and he cuts down Maeve, just like spinning his glaive out in panic. He just cuts through Maeve, and you watch as the sort of light armor that she kind of wears in front of her just like starts seeping with blood, and she just collapses to the ground. And so the ability of the Umber Hulk means until your next turn you can't take any reactions. And at the moment, the flavor of that is you are just like you just look down at May and you just like can't believe what just happened, and so you're just basically like frozen until your next turn.
My chest is so heavy right now. I'm like,
Do you see this happen?
God.
You
not-
are now seeing this creature jump out into the light. Like you all can like on your turns, you know what's happening now.
Did we watch me hit May?
Yes, basically. May, I'm gonna need a death save from you on your turn here.
I don't know what dice to use. I'm really fucking panicking. Okay.
Oh, Phil. Phil's mad at you, Tommy.
I just rolled an 8. That's a fail.
One fail.
Failure.
I have a question.
Yep.
And DM, you can nix this. Before we went into the gladiator arena, didn't Ziggy give us like seeds?
Good
They
berry.
go away.
They go okay.
They go away.
In 24 hours.
Got it.
Oh, good berry.
Good berries, yeah.
Got
All
it.
right.
Okay, so that's one fail for May. Ziggy, you are now up,
All right.
and you kind of just see this giant bug-like chittering thing kind of leap out of the wall, attack May, and then Kami follows up with a quick slash almost as soon as after the bug attacks, and you just watch May collapse.
Oh,
I'll put you like closer to over here at this point.
Okay.
It's a big room.
It's a large room. Yeah. This is not great. If I see her fall, I'm gonna take on my starry form, but this time you notice that instead of glowing the normal blue that it does, I'm glowing like a warm yellow. And I'm just going to sprint 60 feet.
I thought we were all together. Shit.
And then, oh, what's the range on? What's the range on Cure Wounds? Or no, on sorry, on
Healing word.
yeah. I think
Could be
it's
60
30.
feet, I think. Oh, was it only 30?
No, it's 60. It is 60.
60.
Am I? Whew. Okay. So yeah, I'm going to do a first level healing word. And in this
Can you use your action to dash though?
it's a bonus action.
Oh, healing
word's
word's a bonus action.
Healing word's a
Oh,
bonus action.
nice.
It is a bonus action. That's right.
Neat.
Yeah, it is. It's really neat.
So I'm going to roll D8 plus 5. Or sorry, D4 plus 5.
D4, yeah.
Not cure wounds.
Yeah, plus 5.
D4 plus 5. Then that's 3 plus 5 is 8. But in this starry form. When I cast a spell that restores hit points, me or a creature within 30 feet gains 1d8 plus 5. So I'll take it, because
I mean, hey, why not?
I can't give it
Someone's
to
got
her.
it.
So I'll take it. So I gain 1d8 plus 5. So I gain 7.
All right. So May, you just like all of a sudden gasp back to life as you kind of feel this like warm, radiant energy, and as you kind of like open your eyes for a second, you see this kind of like sparkling glow kind of like in the air around you, almost like when you like stand up too fast and like you see kind of like your eyes kind of like go weird with like seeing stars. And you kind of just are on the ground looking up at like Kami just like staring down at you as you kind of see through the light that's kind of fades from your eyes after you finish healing. And you don't really know what happened, but you're awake. You're up.
I'm just gonna be like, not me. Dad!
And is that it, Ziggy?
Mm-hmm.
Whirl, your turn.
Woo.
Oh boy. Whirl is very confused watching whatever is happening in front of her. And very far away right now, unfortunately. So I'm gonna go forward. I'm gonna fly forward 30 feet. So like just a little bit up and forward. And then take out my rapier. No, my short bow. And try to hit it. So my range is 80. Long range is 320.
85, so it's going to be a disadvantage.
That's okay.
So go ahead and make your roll with disadvantage on it.
14. No, I added the wrong. I added my initiative. 16.
16. You kind of release the arrow, and it kind of seems like it flies true. And as it kind of strikes the creature, it ricochets off of like its hard like exoskeleton, and kind of like skitters into basically through the hole that it just burrowed in the wall. And you hit it, but it doesn't do any damage. Like you miss, but it's got tougher armor than you would have expected.
It's really unfortunate. So I'm gonna bonus action use my eye for detail to try to make an investigation check to figure out why Kami did that. Like if I can discover anything about that type of the thing that's fighting us. And why Kami reacted like that.
I'd say it'd probably be your insightful fighting more than your eye for detail.
Wouldn't that be my sneak attack one? Right?
Oh yeah, it would. Eye for detail lets you spot a hidden creature or object or make check to uncover, decipher clues. Okay, yeah, I see what you're saying. You're right. So for this one, it would probably be use investigation for this one.
Okay.
Instead of perception.
Dirty 20.
Ooh, okay.
We're either rolling real high or real low today, guys.
Yeah.
There's no middle.
Between.
You in your travels, in your kind of experience, you've heard of creatures like this, and they have this like ability to them. They have this gaze, and if you kind of stare at it, similar to like a basilisk can turn you to stone, this can kind of like turn your mind to mush, and it can cause you to just kind of like not be able to kind of like think straight, and you don't really know what you're doing. And so based on what you just saw, you would imagine that Kami may have fell prey to something like that.
Am I able to yell something out?
Yeah, you can have something quick.
Don't look him in the eyes!
All right, you guys all hear a quick word of warning from Whirl as she seems to, after firing her arrow at it, seems to have made some sort of deduction of what you're fighting. And I think with that, we're going to go back to Zaire.
Right. So I'm going to fly pretty much in a straight line as close to it as I can get.
And your flying speed is 30?
40.
40.
Oh
Are
yeah,
you
he's fast now. The more he levels up, the faster he gets.
Yeah, that's nice. Are you using the dash to go like a full 80?
Yeah. Can I use the key point for that, or is that just an action?
You can use a key point to bonus action it.
Yeah.
You can use a key point to bonus action it.
Yeah. I'm going to use my key point and dash to get to 80.
Okay. That's why it's not working.
Step of the wind, more like wing of the wind. Because he's not stepping, but it's called step of the wind. It wasn't
It
good.
is step of the wind.
Okay, so you go full like diving Peregrine Falcon, unless I
Yeah,
speed.
right at it. And then that puts me how far away? Okay, like 50 feet.
Mhm.
I'm going to cast. Yes. I'll cast Sacred Flame at it.
Ooh.
Okay.
Yeah.
So it makes a dex save.
All right.
This bitch ain't dexterous, or it better not
8.
be.
It fails. So it'll take 2d8 of radiant damage.
Mm.
Yes. Yes.
Um,
Coming in hot.
How does his radiant damage show up as opposed to mine, DM?
That's I'll let him decide that.
oh,
Mm.
so that's just 11 radiant damage. And so you see as that ear's like coming, like flying down. The like I think you can see it in his character on the stream, but he has some like rings and other like pendant stuff. It all starts to glow red, and then just a where this beast is standing, like almost like a red light, like he's getting like almost like abducted by the UFO, just kind of like shines through him, like illuminating the thing's body before like disappearing again.
And as it kind of hits it, you kind of see it like rear back from the light, and you hear a kind of like as it kind of like reacts to that. Okay. Anything else on your turn?
Nope.
All right. The Umbra Hulk is going to look sort of across the way, with May still on the ground, is going to leap across May and right at Kami. And it is going to make its 3 attacks. So it's going to make 2 claw attacks and its mandible attack against Kami.
You wanna fight me? Then fight me.
Ooh, that's 2 19s plus 8 for its claw attacks.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
27s. So we'll do that all together. 21 points of slashing damage total from that.
Okay.
And then its mandible attack is an 18 to hit.
Yes.
I don't remember if that hits or not. Okay, 18.
Yep.
And that is another 13 points of slashing damage total.
Okay.
And it just kind of like it's kind of like standing over Maeve a little bit, but like we'll put it to the side of her. Okay. Kami, on the start of your turn, do you want to avert your gaze from this creature?
Yeah, I guess so. If I heard.
Well, you would have you now know, like staring at it, you felt what happened.
Okay.
So
Then
it's
yeah,
not
I'll.
like you can either avert your gaze or look at it and try and overcome the ability.
If I avert my gaze, do I have to stay? Like I can't. My gaze has to be averted the entire turn.
Basically, you would have disadvantage on attacks against it this turn if you avert your gaze. Or you can try and beat the charisma save.
I'm gonna try and beat the charisma save.
Okay.
Hell yeah. Risk it for
Go
the
ahead.
biscuit.
15.
You are familiar now with
Oh!
with this feeling, and after watching what happened the first time, you're resolute. You are refusing to allow it to happen again, and you steel yourself against its gaze. Go ahead and take your turn.
So basically, Kami's staring down at May, and then he hears the like chittering behind him, and he sees May get back up and his eyes open. So he's like, for the split second, he's still mortified, but he's like, okay, she's up. So he just turns and stares it right in the eyes, and sort of like pulls his glaive, and he's like, and I'm gonna rage.
All right, roll your King's Fury dice.
My last one. Oh no, I have one more. It's a 3.
Woo! Go ahead and describe that.
This is one we haven't
Okay.
seen, right?
You've seen Big Mama. You've seen friendly little Uncle Man. Now introducing. So what you see now is as I'm standing resolutely with my glaive, behind me, sort of like it's almost like a man standing up, and he's tall. He's taller than me. He's got more muscle than my uncle, but he's not huge like my great grandmother. But it is just regality. He's tall. He has a look of determination on his face. He's wearing very regal robes, but with like armor underneath. And the look in his eyes is like his chin is held high. His eyes are straightforward and focused, and he sort of stands behind Kami, giving some like a little bit of an extra oomph.
That's such a good one to roll in this situation too.
I could not have asked for a better one.
What's his name?
This is a very distant ancestor of mine, one of the founders of House Bar. This is Falvir.
So we have mommy, daddy, and now Zaddy?
No, his uncle was Daddy.
Okay, so this is just straight up daddy.
This is like daddy. Anyways, I'm not getting into this. I'm not getting into this.
Go ahead and take your turn.
I'm going to attack, and I'm going to make it reckless.
Okay. So roll with advantage.
Okay, one is a 2, and then one is a 16 plus. I lost everything. Plus 9, so 25.
Lost everything when the Fire Nation attacked. Yeah, that hits. Go ahead and roll damage.
I believe can
We're gonna get
save
copy
the
strikes.
world.
All right, so where's my D10? Where's my D10? I'm nervous.
No.
Oh no.
Right, that is 7 plus 8, so 15 slashing damage.
15 slashing damage. Very good.
And he has disadvantage on anybody else but me.
Anybody else? Okay.
So Kami just basically with the bolstering of his long distant ancestor behind him, he takes and almost like in the past he's like swung wildly or he swung strategically. This time he swings like an executioner. He brings up his glaive and strikes right in like the heart of the Umber Hulk's head.
And you
Right at
watch
the
him
tip of
kind of like bring the glaive down. There's kind of like a split in the armor on sort of like the back of its shell as it kind of like ducks away from the head a little bit. You strike the back of its shell, and you watch there's kind of like a crack that kind of like opens up as you strike it.
And the whole time, Kami has not blinked, and he has stared this thing right in its eyes.
All right, May, you are awake. You are alive. At the beginning of your turn, do you avert your gaze from the Umber Hulk?
I'm under it, right? It's over me. Like
You are. You can essentially like close your eyes and look away if you wanted to.
Okay, yeah, I'm going to avert my gaze.
Okay. So go ahead and take your turn as normal, but if you make any attacks against it, they're going to be a disadvantage.
Okay. But before I close my eyes, I assume I saw Kami strike.
Yeah, you kind of saw and heard it more so.
Okay.
But
I'm just gonna like look over, eyes closed, and be like, "Thank Titania, you're back." And then I'm going to take my rapier along my side, and since I'm underneath of it, I'm just gonna try to. Well, actually, as a bonus action, I'm gonna go into Blade Song.
okay.
So you hear the thunder around me and the crackling of energy, and I, with the Blade Song now, I'm going to strike out against this Umber Hulk.
That is it. Yeah.
And cast Booming Blade as well. So
okay. So go ahead and make your attack roll, but with disadvantage.
An 18 a hit. Well, let me actually roll 8. With disadvantage, a 16 a hit.
16. So you kind of like try and like avert your gaze and kind of roll out from under it and jab up. But as you're kind of like trying to keep your eyes away from it, you kind of just like hit air. You can't really see what happens, but you don't feel it resist against anything. And it seems to have missed.
Okay.
Are you going to try to move at all?
I'm going to try to roll out from underneath of it. So
okay.
just so that I'm in the clear.
Okay. And you want to like Where do you want to go exactly?
If I can, is there anything for me to hide behind or just sort of collect myself?
There's
Like
this little hatchway thing.
okay, I'm gonna just crawl.
Gateway. That's like where you guys are trying to leave through.
Cool. I'm just gonna crawl my way over there and just try and get some cover.
Okay. As you do, he's going to strike out at you with disadvantage. Correct.
Correct. If he's attacking Maeve,
With a
disadvantage.
opportunity attack.
Disadvantage.
With disadvantage, it is a 10 to hit. And so you watch as you're kind of like crawling, you kind of like roll out from under it, and as he sees you kind of roll away, he strikes down with his claws, and you see another kind of spray of like shattered stone. As you kind
Can
of
I
roll
maybe make something cool for flavor? Not to because technically the way Ancestral Guardian works is it's the Spirit Guardians are supposed to be protecting my other teammates.
Okay.
So I like to think that he goes and then like a giant pole arm, like a spectral pole arm, just like shoots out, and he like goes to hit it, and then like Balvir's just like staring judgingly down at it while it tries to attack me.
and you kind of watch all of this happen as you kind of like manage to roll away, look back for a second, collect yourself. There's something in my backyard that's making a lot of noise, and Hobbs is freaking out.
Oh, coyote.
I don't know if it's a coyote or an owl or something. It's like a hooing, yipping sound in the backyard. Anyway, and you manage to kind of like work your way into the kind of hallway that's leading out and take a minute to collect yourself. Okay. Zaire. No, I'm sorry. I just skipped everybody. Ziggy.
All right. Is all of this actually all of this?
Yep, there's like the water. There's a platform over there.
Okay.
It's kind of a step down from where you are right now.
Cool. I'm gonna step up here. Right there. I'm gonna move 30 feet. And then I'm just gonna not yell, but just kind of loudly be like, "You guys, if you're not feeling great, just get close to me." And gonna I'm gonna kind of just like not hug myself, but like kind of just like batter down and just kind of like try and meditate in whatever way I can in this hellscape. And I'm going to start glowing. And then within 30 feet of me, you're gonna see kind of this radius of like shimmery starlight popping in and out of existence. And with my bonus action, I'm casting Aura Vitality. And with my bonus action, I can cause one creature in the aura to gain 2d6. So Kami. Oh wait, actually, 30 feet has May. Yeah. So you're gonna get 2d6 plus. So 2d6 from Aura Vitality, and then a d8 plus 5 from my Starry Form. So 4 and 3 on the 2d6, a 5
7.
on the d8,
12.
plus 5.
So 17 total.
You gain 17 hit points.
It's amazing.
Druid Healbot over here.
I
Jesus.
know.
Jesus.
Scary.
All right.
Scary.
And that's it.
Okay. All right. It is now Whirl.
Whirl is unfortunately so far away, but a little bit better knowing that she knows what this guy's all about. So she's gonna try again.
To be fair, you can bonus action dash if you want to.
Oh,
Rogues.
Just as a
Yeah.
rogue, you have that ability.
yeah.
Oh, she's fast.
I'm gonna bonus action dash.
You're right up next to Ziggy.
Look at her go. And then he is going to. I don't have a spell, never mind. He's going to do 20 feet. Fuck yeah. Okay, I'm going to throw my dagger at it. I have a 20-foot range.
Dagger, dagger, dagger.
Dagger, dagger. Ooh, 22.
Dagger.
22 hits. Go
Dagger.
ahead and roll damage.
Okay.
With sneak attack because Kami is in range, so you also get 3d6.
Sick. Okay, so my damage on its own, 3 plus 5, 8. Plus 6, 4, 10, plus 1, 11. So 11 plus, what did I say was the first one? 4?
8.
No. That was, these 3 was 11 total.
Right, and then another 8, I think.
And then another 8. So 19.
19. Very good.
Yeah.
The math on that one is difficult for me to do. Okay, yeah, got it. Yeah, you kind of like double time it real quick.
Hold on. I think I have another D6. Now it all of a sudden my D&D Beyond says 4d6.
When you leveled up to 7, it may have gone up. I don't remember when you get it.
Yeah, I must have because it says 4. So 2 more added on. So
2
21.
more. Got it. Okay. Nice. Yeah, so you like double time it across and sneak attack. Yep, level 7, you go up to 46. Nice. Level 7's great for a rogue. And Kami, you just kind of, as you're kind of attacking it, you just watch this like dagger come flying out of the darkness and just kind of like stick into kind of like in between some of the joints and it's like shell armor. And it's just kind of like stuck there now. And you see this kind of like greenish, bluish, like blood goo starts to like drip out of it.
A slight little smirk on Kami's face in reaction.
Okay. Zaire.
Okay, so Zaire's going to continue flying towards it. I think get to like right. Yeah, kind of.
You want to be in melee?
Actually, I don't want to be in melee yet. I want to be about 10 feet from melee.
10 feet from melee?
Huh?
Okay. You're right about there.
And again, the same, relics on Zaire's, kind of talons and stuff blows again. And this time, though, actually, no, we're going to do something different. Zaire is going to, as he's approaching, kind of like targeted on, and the creature starts to hear the sound of bells echoing in the
Ding,
Make a
ding.
saving throw.
Ding, ding, ding.
It's a wisdom, right? You said?
Yes.
Ding.
15.
If it's tied, does it save?
It does save, yeah.
Okay.
Beats it.
So it.
Bing bong.
Okay, so if it defeats it, nothing happens, right?
I think because it's a cantrip, yeah, it would take no damage.
Okay, so right, noticing that has no effect, he is going to fly up into melee range, and then again with anger, cast a Sacred Flame on it. I realize I have 2 attacks per action.
And they're both cantrips, right?
Yeah.
So can you do 2 cantrips? I think you can do a leveled spell on a cantrip, but you can't do one of each.
So
Is that how it works?
those aren't attacks; those are spells. I think.
Yeah.
Because you can take the attack. You get 2 attacks per attack action. I think is how it reads.
Oh, I see how you do it. All right, so Zaire doesn't do anything then. So tasked. So okay. So for attack actions, that's my attack spells or melee spells,
Yeah.
Yes, exactly.
not cantrip.
And then, so if you were to take like an attack with like a melee weapon attack, you'd get a second melee.
Attack spell. I wouldn't necessarily get the cantrip though.
Yeah, because the attack action is like a physical attack, whereas those are spells.
I think
Got it.
you can still bonus action flurry of blows if you want though.
No, only if I have a key point though, right?
Yeah.
Oh,
with
yes.
Points.
Good thing we haven't taken any rest.
Yeah.
No,
Yeah.
I can. No, I'm not going to do anything right now. Well, I can't. I already used Toll of Bells, so I will get into melee range with it.
Got it. Okay, you snuggle up real close with him, and it's really cute.
Aw.
The Umbra Hulk is going to start his turn, and he's going to shift around to the far side of Kami to put Kami in between him and Zaire. But he does move out of your melee range, Zaire, so you would get an attack of opportunity against him if you wanted it.
I want it.
Yeah, you do.
That's a 23 to hit.
Yeah, go ahead and roll damage.
So that is going to be. Where are we at? So that's 7 slashing damage. But I'm also going to channel divinity, and so with the slash, there's going to be 9 points of necrotic damage as the like leftover magic that clearly like didn't hit him still is existing in Zaire's kind of like aura.
Okay, so that is a total of what, 16 damage?
Yeah. Yes.
Okay.
Yep.
So you kind of like use your Toll the Dead. It doesn't work. You close in to try and like get your attacks in, but he's already begun his kind of movement away from you. And as it kind of takes a step back, you land with your first attack. As your talons kind of like dig into the hard exo kind of skeleton shell that he has on the outside, you see the kind of crack that Kami had made with his glaive starts to kind of like grow necrotic and like almost start to like rot away as like pieces of it start to kind of like flake off as the necrotic damage kind of like sets in. And he kind of like steps to the side and he's gonna make his 3 attacks against Kami now.
I will
So-
use. I'm gonna use my Cosmic Omen because I have to use it before the attack. So
yes, you still have one left after the battle.
Yes, I have one left. And so I will use the last one to reduce the first attack by a d6.
Okay, I'll roll that one first.
It's a 4.
And I will, for just to be a good player, I did make my attack reckless, Eric.
That's right.
I want to be fair, even if it kills me.
So that is 26 to hit, reduced by 4
And
to
I-
22. That'll still hit, yeah.
Yeah, that.
And we'll see if its second claw attack hits as well. A 16
No, it does not.
with advantage.
Ooh,
Okay.
that level up saved me because my armor class went up 1.
Did it really?
It was 16, and it's now 17.
Holy shit. All right. So that's just 1 claw attack that it hits you with, which is 6 slashing damage, reduced
Just a
to
3.
3. And then it's going to hit you with its mandibles, hopefully, for a 25 to hit.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
And that one's going to do 16 points of slashing damage, reduced to 8.
Just 8.
And then he is also going to back all the way up over to Maeve, who's over yonder. But Kami, you also get an attack of opportunity against it as it moves away.
I sure do. That's gonna be a 15.
15. You kind of swing at it, but you weren't expecting it to kind of move away as quickly as it did, and you kind of just miss it as it jumps outside of your. But it is your turn now. Do you want to avert your gaze upon the start of your turn?
I do not.
Okay, go ahead and make your charisma saving throw.
Damn it! It's a natural 20.
So no intervention necessary.
Nope.
You once again steel yourself against it. You are quite certain you will not allow whatever happened before to happen again. And go ahead and take your turn.
All right. So first, I'm going to bonus.
I was just gonna say, quick question: is it now in melee with Maeve?
Yes, it is.
Okay. Okay. I just couldn't tell from the square.
It's large, so it's like
Okay. Cool.
that's within.
Yeah. No.
melee.
I just
Okay.
wanted. I didn't know if it was in the square above or the square below. So we're good.
As soon as it moves, I'm right on its tail. So I'm moving, and at the same time, as bonus action, I'm manifesting Echo. So Falvir's like kind of ghosty spectral form now solidifies into a solid-looking human form, and I'm going to take my attack action and unleash Incarnation. It's my last one. So Falvir and I are going to attack together.
Okay.
Sick.
Okay, so
Two
let's do me
attack.
first.
We're good.
So that's another 25 to hit.
That definitely hits.
And then Falvir's is a 30-20 to hit.
That hits.
Okay, so for me, my first attack is going to do. It's a lot. It's 10.
Should be illegal
Plus-
for you to take that feat.
It should be illegal for me not to take that feat. So that's going to be 18 slashing damage from my first hit.
Very weapon master, man.
It's amazing.
Falvir's attack is going to be a 9 plus. Does he get my 2 extra from raging? It's up to you. I can't remember what you said.
Is it just you make your attack through him?
I mean, when you unleash Incarnation, you heighten the Echo's Fury. Whenever you take the attack action, you can make 1 additional melee attack from the Echo's position.
Yeah, it says you're making the attack, so.
Okay. So that's 9 plus 8, so that's 17 slashing damage.
17. How do you want to do this?
Okay, there we go. So I'd like to think of he basically follows right behind it as it's kind of fleeing to May, but without looking rushed, without looking panicked, just very focused and determined, just sort of walks in lockstep with Falvir. And Falvir raises his version of Kanolum in one way, Kami raises his in another way, and in a very clean, almost artistic way, they bring it down in like a triangle and it slices the head right off the Umberhold.
So, May, you're sitting there kind of like managing to duck behind and catch your breath for a moment, and all of a sudden you kind of like see this the huge shape of the Umber Hulk just like dart into your view, and you kind of look over at it for a minute, kind of like panicking for a second, and then all of a sudden you just see like anime style, like just 2 flashes of light go across, and then you think it's lunging at you, and you realize it's just his head falling off, and it just rolls down the hallway where you are as its body just kind of collapses.
Ugh.
Oh.
He big dead.
While all this is happening, just right after that, because I still have up to a minute, so I still have what nine rounds of Aura Vitality. I'm just gonna start pumping people full of HP. So I'm just gonna yell out.
Do you guys want to pause and take a short rest, and that can be part of the short rest is all that healing?
Sure. Yeah, it's up to you.
It's probably a very good idea.
It's just like it's only because it's a minute, and so I'm just like I want to get it out.
In the first minute of you guys taking and collecting yourself, go ahead and pump out all that healing.
All right. So who needs healing?
Out all that.
Definitely May.
Okay, cool. I'll heal up May first. So, and I want Eric your ruling on how this reads. So Aura Vitality is I'm basically using it's you can think of it as like Witch Bolt but for healing. So like it's cast and then I use an action to get recurring benefits, but the Starry form specifically says when you cast a spell that restores hit points. So I'm not casting a spell in all of these like subsequent rounds. Like the first one, I am casting a spell, and it's weird, right? Because it's like
Yeah,
it's
I would
coming
say on
from
the
a spell.
first cast you would get it, but on subsequent, just like activating the spell, it's not casting. So we'll say not an extra 1d8, but on the
Yeah.
first cast you get the 1d8.
Well, yeah. Otherwise, I'd be broken as fuck.
Yeah, that'd be pretty cool.
Okay, so 2d6, 3 and 3. So you get
So is that for
6.
Tommy? Or May?
So I have 8 left.
My God.
That's for me.
5. So someone take them, and then
May, just keep going. Keep going.
I don't
6 and 6.
All right, so I'll take one more 6 and then I'm good. So someone else take the other 6.
I'm good.
I'll take them.
5 and 1. So 6 total.
Again?
This is the 5th one of 8 left. 1 and a 6, so 7 total.
7.
2 left. 8 total. Last one. 8.
All right.
Michael,
I'm going to use my second wind now, and then I get it back at a short rest.
That works too.
something of vitality, Ziggy.
Aura of Vitality, yeah.
Wow, that's crazy.
It is a good spell.
It is a good spell.
Welcome to Busan.
No.
Okay, so you guys are gonna take a short rest.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Go ahead and take your short rest. Whatever you guys need to do with as you're kind of, I don't know what you guys normally have in your short rest. If you're gonna use hit dice, go ahead and use them. And then everybody just give me their own D100 roll, just out of curiosity.
Interesting.
Oh, you
Just-
can use it, guys.
I can use this one. And while we're resting, May's just going like, she's like shaking. She's like, these creatures keep coming out of nowhere. I walk over there for a second, for just 1 second, just come out of nowhere. Kami, I need to get
some
out
of
here.
the chat whenever you guys roll them.
Okay.
D100. 52.
Okay. So this is kind of a just a quick. Some of it's like in here, maybe some of it was when you guys were in the other one. Just like little items that you guys kind of like found throughout here as you were going through the sewers. So Whirl, in your time in the sewer, you picked up a small copper-colored, like hexagonal coin. And on one side, there's kind of like a smiling face, and there's the words "Remember to live" on it. And on the flip side, there is a skull etched into it with the words "Remember you will die."
That's sick.
May you find what looks to be like a sort of like a almost like a monocle, or like a not a monocle necessarily, but like one of those, like a monocular type of thing that you can like hold up to one eye. And when you look up and look through it, it kind of makes everything black and white as you look through it. Kami, you find it is like, it looks like a sort of necklace with like a dark metallic colored amulet, with like a symbol on it that you don't really recognize, but it looks like a sort of dark just necklace of like it's a kind of a dirty, grungy, like metallic something that's been gathering dust and dirt here in the sewers for a while. Zaire, You find it's just a bracelet that seems to have just a bunch of silver beads on it. So silver in color, best you can tell. And it's just bracelet with a bunch of them on it. And Ziggy. You find it just looks like a little rock at first when you kind of kicked it at one point and you noticed it was like there's more to it, and it's just like a little stone carving of what looks like a squat frog.
Hmm.
I love him.
Oh,
Yeah, so those are all kind of your little items that you find in the sewers. Because, you know.
Wow, this was definitely worth the trip into this literal shithole.
Do we coin I found?
I can identify it, but I'll do that tomorrow. I'll do that tomorrow.
I can at least do this, and I'm gonna use my racial feature for Furbolgs, and I'm gonna cast Detect Magic, and I'm just gonna see if any of these things are magical. And you just see my eyes just like shine bright, and they just like it's like kind of like head beams, and I'm just like looking at everything, seeing if any of them are magical.
Ziggy, what are you doing? Ziggy.
Oh, I can, sometimes I can just like see if something's magical. I can't tell what it is, but I can say it is or is not magical.
Wild.
And can you tell the school of magic from that?
That's a good question. Let me go to the spell real quick. I'm pretty positive, but I don't want to
Yeah, you do.
detect magic. Yes.
Okay. So the only item that seems to be any kind of magical, is the bracelet that Zir has with the little beads on it. And you get a faint sort of enchantment magic from it.
Ooh.
We just have random stuff, but Zair's bracelet's got some sort of enchantment on it.
Ooh.
Interesting.
Why'd
I
you get
didn't think of you as a man who likes to accessorize, Zaire.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A little surprised.
Well, I got this frog, so.
It's very fitting for you, Glitter. It's a good find.
I might have to borrow that from you sometime. It's a nice looking bracelet.
Keep your paws off it.
All right.
Maeve,
I will
Maeve,
say,
are you,
Maeve.
Maeve.
Good.
What are you doing? What you got?
Maeve, are you feeling okay?
This is cool. Check it out. Check it out.
Oh no, okay. Yeah, no, Maeve. I'm sure. Listen, Maeve. I'm sure it's very
It's
nice.
covered in blood.
Are you okay?
In shock.
I'm so sorry.
Yeah.
I truly, I don't know what came over me. I thought I was hitting that beast, and next thing I know, I look down at the ground, and you're unconscious and bleeding, and I like, it won't happen again. I promise. It will not happen again.
You
Kami,
sliced open our small friend.
Kami, I know it wasn't you. Kami, it wasn't you. There's crazy magic out there. Crazy magic. And while that was surprising, I know you didn't mean it. I mean, I almost died.
I didn't mean it, Maeve, but that does not matter while you're bleeding out on the ground. Whether I meant it or not does not change the fact that I could have killed you. And so, promise, I will be more careful and mindful in the future.
Maybe you stronger armor, perhaps?
Kami, yeah, maybe instead of you, working so hard to just not come under the spell of magic, maybe I just get stronger.
I mean, you're already getting much stronger, Maeve.
I know. I can feel it, but not strong enough.
Maeve, when you were knocked down, did you see anything?
Creepy dude.
I saw someone, Zaire. I'm home. Home. Place I miss very much. And now back in these stupid sewers. I hope one day I'll show you my home.
Yes, but in the meantime, can we please get the fuck out of here? I'm so tired of this place. I can't even begin to tell you. It smells horrible, and I've almost killed a person down here. So I'm ready to get out and into some fucking sunlight, please.
Yeah, I would I'd kill some for some fresh air.
And Zaire, I know you may be asking because you're curious about death. Unfortunately, I don't think I was close enough, which is good for me. Very good for me.
Yeah, you're kind of laughs and he's just like, we're all close to death, and we're all close enough.
Oh my
I feel like you should be the one with that coin, my dude.
Coin that Delia has?
Well,
Like you just say close to death on
Translate?
books?
Let's flip it. I'm gonna flip the.
At least
Okay.
it's not magical, so.
Roll a d4.
A what?
Oh, no.
A d4.
1.
Comes up as remember to live.
It's like we're living today. Get the fuck out of here.
Bailey's
Alright.
gonna slowly turn into Two-Face from the fucking Dark Knight. Go to do today. Remember to die. Pulls out the 2 daggers. Just
Murder everyone. Well, let's get out, but I'm not leading the way. Someone else, please. Stop. I'm going in the middle.
I'll go first.
You go first.
All right. Whirl, you want to try and lead him out? Go and make a survival check.
Yeah. 8.
mm,
So as you step out,
Wait, what?
there's 3 more Umber Hulk. No. With a combination of Ziggy's nose and your and the collective memory of the group, there is sort of a path that does kind of eventually kind of reveal itself through just the pure fresh air that's filtering down. And after another probably couple hours of trudging back through the sewers, you manage to work your way back to the coastal pipe that you would all come in through. And the fresh air is quite welcome. And it's pretty dark now at this point. It's night, but you can hear kind of the crashing of the waves up against the rock and the wharfs, the docks and things. And yeah, where do you guys want to head from here?
That's a
How
good
long are we
point.
in there?
too long.
So,
Why?
how close are we to the water, Eric?
It's basically like you kind of like to get in here. You kind of have to like scale the side of the seawall
Yeah.
to get there. So the water is kind of like straight down pretty much from where you are.
So Zahir's gonna be like coming out of the tunnel, like stretch, unfurl his wings, and then just dive. And he's gonna dive, go under the water, and then come back up to like drench all of the like fucking
Ooh.
out of him, and then fly back up and land right next to the group, soaking wet. And then I'll do the like dog shake to get the feathers, like what some of the birds do, like the
A little like.
Yeah. A little shimmy, Zaire. Do a little shimmy.
With the water that comes off of him, I'm gonna cast shape water, and I'm just gonna like use shape water to clean myself.
my dirty
I'm
water.
just gonna
Yeah,
like
your dirty water, but like your dirty water is cleaner than me.
Yeah,
I'm
so
going
just like
home and getting a
quick rinse
shower.
from what you can.
I was just gonna stand there and pick the dry blood off his glaive.
I'm gonna prestidigitation myself and clean myself up, and then also do the same to Kami and the same to Whirl. and then look over at Zahir and Ziggy and just say, "You're good."
Yeah, I just I needed a moment.
Do me.
And then I'll prestidigitate in Ziggy.
This is the cleanest I've been in a very long time.
We are sparkling, but and we smell good too. So the sewer smell is off of us.
Oh, thank God.
So there's a lot of prestidigitation to clean every person, considering each one can clean 1 cubic foot worth of space. So a lot of sitting here in the fresh air as you guys kind of like come out here and just like take a breath here of her, and Maeve is just like constantly just like casting this spell on you all.
Okay.
Are we heading back to the place, the inn?
Well, if we want, we could. I mean, last night was our last free night at Terrell's. Any other night we now have to pay. And I don't know about you, but I don't really feel like paying an arm and a leg to stay in a hotel with a bunch of fucking hoity-toity artists, woozy doozy types. So maybe we try somewhere else this time, or
That works for me. I probably know a decent spot, right?
Yeah. Let me pull up Gel Lida here.
Knowing Ziggy, he's probably gonna aim for something not like
not the other one.
like dive bar-y, but like not dangerous dive bar-y. Like kind of like a neighborhood bar, like a very neighborhoody feel that has some rooms.
Whimsical dive bar.
Not whimsical, like more of just like it's a spot that
Me?
locals go to, but it's not too rowdy.
The bar in Ted Lasso.
Essentially, yeah, if they had rooms to stay in, yeah.
Okay.
Okay. Soggy bottom. Pull it, okay. Soggy bottom.
So there is Terrell Bluffs Northview, which you guys were in before, and that was kind of the first one. One of the other ones is the Seaside Inn, Terrell Bluffs Seaside Inn.
That's
nice.
And that's the one that's like, as you kind of follow the coast road through the city, it's right closer to what's called the Ragadran shipyard, which is like the big fancy shipyard that all of the wealthiest sort of merchants and barons and visitors to the city, it's where they come in through, because it's right in the middle of the city. It's kind of like a straight shot through the city to the Alcazar. And so it's definitely not like where all the fancy people stay, because they're going to stay in either the Lakeside Lounge, they'll stay in the Alcazar itself, or they'll stay somewhere in the Lake District. But all of like the workers on their ships or their staff and stuff, they'll typically stay kind of out of the way here at like the Seaside Inn. So it's like not the most fanciest place in the world, but it's like a well-established, semi-respected
That's the
inn
vibe
of the town.
On the way there, I want to be casting Druidcraft to recreate the smell of the caves in Kami's face. Just every now and then, just like little whiffs. Like,
is it me?
And I can't get the smell off of me. No matter how hard I try.
I thought that I got it.
It's okay, Nave. I've smelled worse, to be honest. I'm just being dramatic.
I laugh every time.
So you all
start
make your
eyeing you
way through kind of the city, walking along the coast. And yeah, it's late at night, but you find your way to the Seaside Inn, which is outside the main shipyard here. And as you come in, there seems to be somebody that doesn't look like Terrell Bluff, right? It just seems like a very worn out, weary, young human man who's just kind of like falling asleep at the front desk. Clearly working third shift and not used to getting a lot of people here at this time. But he's kind of just half snoozing in the front there as you go in.
Evan's gonna walk right up to the desk and do one of those like slams his hand on the thing like, "Hey, young man, could you help me find a room for the night, please?"
He kind of like jolts up, looks around, kind of looks at you there, and then just kind of like looks up at you.
Yes. Hello.
Yeah, no, sure. What can I do for you guys? You staying here? Are you staying here? Do you need a key? Do you already have a key?
We already have a key. We spoke with Terrell just yesterday, and I'm so sorry, but we misplaced our key. We were just coming back to, get a copy. Two of us lost our keys,
What
actually.
do you know? What room you were in?
I can't remember. It was right by the stairs, on the very end,
Right by the stairs at the end.
over that direction.
Make a deception check.
May looks so uncomfortable, but she's like too dirty and tired to like say anything. She's just like
18.
He's kind of like he's thinking for a second. He goes, I mean, I think I know the room you're talking about, but I don't think anybody's there. We have the keys for it here. I don't think there's anybody in those rooms. You sure that was your room?
Like I said, I misplaced them.
No, we have them. They're right here.
Yeah, someone must have found them and returned them to you.
I don't. I guess. You were all staying in this one room?
No, we were spread out. Do you guys have your keys too? Did you misplace your keys?
I never got a room.
No,
I'm sorry.
you're misremembering, Delia. You came before us. This is the first time we're getting here, so we're purchasing our rooms for the first time.
Okay.
Okay. And he's still like half asleep, trying to like make sense of all this. And he just like grabs one of the keys off the wall and hands it to you, Whirl. And he says, the rest of you need to check in?
Yes, we do.
Right. It's a silver per room, for the night. You guys are kind of here late, but still got to charge you for the night.
I got this. Don't. I put
No,
my
of
hand.
course.
I put my hand on Kami. I'm like, I got this. Don't worry. You got the last one. Even though he ended up
Okay.
not paying because we got the room for free, he
Oh,
offered.
Uh, whatever you need to do, Glitter, go ahead.
I also never have money, so I'm just like throwing it around. All right. How many rooms do you have available, my dude?
we got plenty of rooms. You guys each want your own?
Yeah.
Yes, please.
4
Yes.
silver.
4 silver. All right. Hang on just a second. He kind of goes back and has a couple of keys, hands them to you guys, and kind of points in the direction of the rooms. And he kind of looks at Whirl. She's been here. She knows where they are.
I can show you
Of
around.
course.
No big thing.
And he kind of like sits there for a minute until you guys kind of start to walk off, and then he kind of just like leans back in the chair and puts his feet up on the desk again.
Yeah.
Sleep tight.
Are we just going to bed or are we going to debrief what the fuck just happened?
I mean, I think we have a lot to talk about here.
It's been a long day, Glitter. I'm thinking maybe this is something better discussed in the morning with a big breakfast and a fresh cup of coffee.
yeah.
Maybe you can take a quick look at those papers. See if there's
Yeah. Give them here. Yeah. Let me see.
The fucking tired grad student just showed
Yeah.
in your eyes. You're like, fuck.
Yeah. Give them to me. Kami, do you pass them over?
Oh, yeah. Sorry. Yeah.
Okay. So I'm looking at
He's
them.
already
Do
like
I?
checking out. He's asleep. Like
Yeah, I can take it.
Yeah. Can I read the language? Do I?
yeah, no, it's in common. There's not
Okay.
a lot of words written down. It's a lot of kind of numbers, and it looks like they were like hash marks and things. Some drawings as well. Make let's see, what do I want you to make? I'm gonna say Let's do like a history check.
History.
Sure.
Well, that's one of my best traits, but May's real tired, so that's a nat 1. And that's yeah, so for a total of 9. So then I'm gonna be like, Julia, tomorrow morning.
Yeah, you're having a hard time. It's real late. You're real tired.
She
You can't really make out a lot of it. It seems like he was keeping track of like the maybe the warehouses that he was that they were attacking or something like that. That's kind of the best you can get from it. It seems like
Okay.
he was keeping track of something to do with whatever his job was here.
Okay, so I'll relay. I'll be like, I think it's something with the warehouses, but I don't know. My eyes are crossing. I can't read anything else. I can't decipher it.
Okay, Maeve, you did a great job today. I think that's plenty. Well, should I show
Complete.
you all to your rooms?
Yes, if you would be so kind, Delia, since you are the resident here.
I'm not going to show them to their rooms. I'm just going to turn them off.
You guys watch as you're like, yeah, show us to our rooms, and she just walks into a room and closes the door.
Oh no, how will
Hey,
we ever find our way to
good
the doors
night.
right next to yours? I say, like, through the door.
See you in the morning.
All right.
Before the night happens, Kami's gonna go knock on Zair's door.
Zaire opens the door.
Feathers, are you settling into your room nicely?
I am. Any of these inns have been an upgrade over how I've spent the last few months.
Yes, I would imagine. Well, I'm glad we could help expedite the process to better lodgings for you, even though the circumstances have been a little unorthodox, to say the least. Listen, I don't want to keep you. I know it's been a very long day for everybody, but I wanted to speak with you on behalf of the situation that happened in the sewers today with May. Now, I know you have very strong and particular feelings when it comes to death. What I wonder is, do you have the ability and the internal alignment to be able to save someone who may have met death before their time?
Are you asking me if I would have revived her after you struck her down?
Yes.
In that moment, yes, I think I would have.
That's good to hear.
Death doesn't, we don't get a pick when death comes. That's not to say that I won't do my best to exert my own interpretation of when it should come. But sometimes I'm helpless, sometimes you're helpless, and sometimes, like almost tonight, we are at fault. It doesn't matter in the end. But no, I would have saved her. Or at least tried tonight.
That is comforting to hear. To an extent. I worry about Maeve, and I worry about the danger that I place her in. And today was particularly jarring, knowing that the danger was from mine own hand. And I just want to make sure that there are safeguards in place if
When we
further
spoke,
danger.
when one of their first interactions, when we ever spoke, You told me that she was powerful and would surprise me. And she certainly has. Yes, I may worry about her. I may worry about you or myself or any of, our fellow group. But it seems like even if one of us drops the ball, somebody's there to help. Seems like some of our friends, like Ziggy, are quite good at looking out for others. I would have tried to help her, but for your sake and for mine, I think we should be happy that he tagged along with us as well.
It's true. It was a group effort today, for sure.
Rest
Yes, sorry to bother you. Thank you.
No problem.
And I'll head out and head to bed.
Anybody else have anything to do before bed?
Just kind of with that conversation in his mind as he closed the door, Zair's just going to go back, open up the book that he had received from his quarters that, I guess, was with him the entire time they were in the sewers, and read a little bit and start to meditate and kind of chant and pray to both, to two different gods.
Okay. If there's nothing anybody else wants to do, you guys can all go ahead and take your long rest. Reset whatever you need to reset.
Beep, 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 beep.
I think May would do one thing while Kami was out of the room.
Sure.
Or
I think
she's
you're
awake,
in
but
room
You have
regardless,
your own
but
room, yeah.
oh, okay. I'm gonna cast sending. I'm gonna cast it. Here we go. 25 words.
We need a
Who is it
counter.
to?
I need to make a counter for the stream.
I got it.
Wait,
Who,
okay.
who-
Well, we'll do we'll go across the screen. So
You start, and I'll go into the next one. Okay.
who are you sending to?
My dad.
Okay.
Hey, Dad. Something scary happened today. I'm fine. But I need to know, have you heard about Cassian or his location? I love you. Good night.
it's
What
one
kind of
word.
phone?
Good night's one word.
I love
Good.
you. Good.
Good. Love you. Good.
Fuck you, God.
Let me love you right.
Let me see here.
I'm gonna go to the bathroom quick.
All right. I'm trying to figure out how many words I have here.
Okay, I can go and count for you?
Yeah, go ahead. All right.
Okay.
It's good to hear from you, May. I hope you're safe. There has been some news. We heard that the prince may have been spotted.
May have been.
I will say he would have counted you
Okay.
got the may have been spotted, and then that's all he has to say.
May is gonna just take her spell book and be like, I don't have another spell. Come back. Okay. Okay, this is good. This is good. Spotted where? Dad, you gotta learn how to use these spells better. Every
my
time
God,
you always
you know
leave
what
me on a
this is?
cliffhanger.
This reminds me of. Remember Moody's point where the mom is just in the hot air balloon and she's just yelling like, Moody?
Moody's
goddamn.
freaking point. Moody's freaking point. That's what you come up
I
with.
forgot about that, and I'm so happy that
I don't
you
know
brought
what
it.
that is.
At one point over COVID, I found a YouTube video that compiled all of them together in an hour and 45-minute video, and I sat and I watched the whole thing like I was watching a movie.
Oh my god.
Yeah, as you should.
How good it was.
All right.
So I'm gonna fall asleep, and I'm gonna fall asleep very, very on edge from the whole day, but also just like looking forward to trying to get more information about what my dad knows.
Okay. So, after your long rest, you guys are all kind of feeling better after a pretty crazy day. And yeah, wake up probably pretty late in the morning to get your full rest in. And you can hear the sounds as you wake up. You can hear kind of the screeching of the gulls, and the just kind of the noise of the shipyard, as ships are coming in, ships are being unloaded. It's a very busy environment, and you kind of just hear that background noise as you wake up in the morning.
Ami is going to head downstairs as the gravity of everything is starting to kind of hit him. He's going a little bit into soldier mode, and so he's kind of a little inwardly focused, a little bit more solemn. And he's going to head down and order some breakfast. If he's the first one down, which he usually rises with the sun, so he'll head down and he'll try to order food for the whole party.
Okay. Probably for the amount of food there, around 3 silver for everybody.
Yep.
Pretty sizable breakfast with that. And you kind of just sit there for a little while. You're the first one, at least to come downstairs for now. And they have a pretty nice setup here. It's kind of like an open air little like tavern here. So there's like a roof over it, but it's kind of open up to the water and the docks and everything in front. You can kind of see the ships bobbing in the harbor. And occasionally, a pretty adventurous seagull will make his way kind of towards the edge of the area here and kind of try and steal some food when he can. And it's just, pretty sunny, peaceful, calm morning here in Gel Lida. And as anybody else wakes up, you're all welcome to join him as you wish.
Zaire is gonna come down and join him.
Good morning,
I will
feathers.
also-
Please help yourself.
I spent the morning not repairing, but just mending and tending to my dagger that I stabbed into that thing yesterday. And then I'm gonna come downstairs as well.
There's as you're kind of going over it, there's like a tinge of the kind of like greenish blue, like a streak of the blood that's kind of just like left on it, on the metal. Seems like the blood was kind of it was like etched into it a little bit from that, and it's just kind of left there as a like a remnant of the battle.
Delia's just going to smile softly.
May is going to actually wake up with a start, and she's gonna flip over on her stomach and get her books out in front of her, and then be like, "Call Dad. Sending. I have the ability to in the morning now. I'm feeling rested enough. I'm ready."
Okay.
Okay. Okay. Sorry, I had to rest. Dad, what information do you have? Please don't leave me on a cliffhanger. Okay.
You wait for a
I'm
while.
safe.
But there is no response to your sending this time.
I'll go downstairs.
Okay.
Not good.
All right. So you all kind of gather yourselves around a pretty hearty breakfast here. again, this is an establishment that probably has less of a hard time getting food, given the food shortage, because they cater to a lot of the visitors, a lot of the guests, and it would generally be ensured that, that is uh, presenting the best foot of Gel Lida, putting the best foot forward for Gel Lida, and so it's usually pretty well stocked, even when others are going hungry. So pretty solid breakfast here this morning, and you all kind of can gather together around one of the tables after everybody finally wakes up.
Well, how's everyone feeling this morning?
Confused. I don't know. I just feel like
Right.
we're spinning in circles here. Maeve, did you get a look at those papers at all?
Oh yeah, do you want to? Oh yeah, I pull them out again. I reach for some coffee. They're like, yeah, I got this.
I give you a pat on
And
the
I'm gonna
head.
look
I'm like,
down.
you got it, smart girl. And I give you guidance.
I got this.
I'll give you guidance.
I'm much more awake. Okay.
Go ahead and make your history check.
That is
Add a d4.
plus 25
With the d4?
with a d4.
Very good. Yeah, clear-headed now. You're kind of looking through it again, and you're remembering sort of what Dak had told you about the situation and like things that were going on and everything like that. And you can tell now that this seems to be sort of his own bookkeeping, so to speak, whether he was going to bring this back with him to turn in for payment or whatever he was planning to do with it. It tracked sort of almost like how many of his little rat friends, right, were like going where. It was tracking where they were hitting. And there's also some notes in there as you kind of sift further through it that mention it mentions the farms and things on the outskirts of town, and it mentions talks about it as if somebody else is handling it, so it's not his responsibility. But he kind of makes a note of it. Seems to be kind of paying attention to what's going on out there, so he can kind of decide like, is this something I need to jump in with? So he's just kind of tracking the situation outside the city as well, and just tracking the warehouses, how much food is in them, how much food has been kind of soiled or ruined or whatever's happened, and it's basically just his own bookkeeping. And it seems like maybe he was trying to, be able to bring this back and say, look, here's exactly what I did. Pay me for this, this, and this. And perhaps would have had to have stepped in outside the city as well if that had not gone according to plan.
I relay that all to the group, emphasizing that this is Candido's notes, right?
Mhm.
Okay, so emphasizing that there are two people involved, Candido and then someone else who is hitting the farms on the outside of town, and that this is the evidence that we would need if we wanted to bring this to anyone in power, either in Galita or elsewhere.
I know we talked down in the sewer, but the food situation, at least inside of the city, is taken care of. The job is done. I'm hesitant to get involved in the political meddling of two major cities on this continent.
I mean, Hundido was hired by was it the Lopedium?
Opidium.
Lopedium
Yep.
government, and it sounds like the research that he was doing, they're very aware of this. So, I mean, I don't necessarily disagree with you, Zaire.
I don't have, beyond the captain, I don't have officials in the city I would trust. I don't know the political aims. That's just squabbles and things that will only create chaos and madness, and it is not something I want to be involved in.
I am inclined to agree with you here, Zaire. It seems the politicians and the barons and the leaders of the city, an entire government formulated only on those who wish to better their own interests, seem hardly the right people to handle a situation like this for the well-being of the city. I wonder if maybe we are in our best outcome if we shared this information with the captain of the city guard, the man who swore an oath to protect the city and its people. He may be more inclined to send his men to the farms, a known location and a known variable, versus the unknown of the sewers. If we are able to provide him with evidence that that is where he should be focusing his efforts, question then of course becomes, how much information do we give him about Lupidium, etc., or do we just tell him we found the source of the rats in the sewer and we found notes that there is another entity handling the farms?
I think it's the latter. I think, if anything, he sent somebody out. If they uncover more evidence at whoever is handling the farms, then that is something of their own volition, and they can act on that as they will. But I don't know. It doesn't seem right to me. Something seems off, and I'm hesitant to meddle ourselves further.
Yes. I will say, I feel deeply uncomfortable doing nothing with this information, but it would perhaps be even more irresponsible to work on this information before we truly understand what's at play here. We may, in fact, be doing more harm than good in that situation.
Well, maybe we just keep our cards close to our chest and only tell them what they need to know, what we think is necessary. We don't need to give them everything.
Maeve, can you single out the pieces of paper that describe the business with the farms? And do we have at least some evidence of the fact that we took care of the beast in charge of storage houses here in the city?
Can I do that, Eric?
Yeah, I mean the notes that he has that are kind of talking about what's going on in the farms. At the very least, it does allude to somebody hired them to do it, right? So it's tough to weed it out and just say that there's somebody doing it. The notes that you have do kind of, anybody who reads them is going to be like, okay, they're working for somebody, right? But you can still single out like the pieces that do say that there's something going on at the farms. And then regarding evidence that you would have towards the fact that you solved the problem here in the city, besides the notes, I don't think have anything unless anybody has something that I'm not thinking of. But as far as like physical proof, not really. If know the food stores stop, depleting, then that's a pretty good evidence of it. But at the moment, you don't have like a hard proof of what you guys did.
I could also send the captain. I could just send him a message. I don't think we want to have any paper or anything, that we're delivering to him. So we could just communicate this to him. I mean, I don't know anything about the politics between Lepidium and Gel Lida, but I do know that we've solved one part of this problem, and the other part of it we could help the captain solve. If we just point him in the direction of the farm. And I agree, Zaire, that they can maybe find additional information while they're out there.
Yes, I think you're on the right track, Maeve. I would still prefer to share this with him face to face. I would be able to open a mental linkage with him and share the information in a more discreet manner. I know when we were with him last time, he handed me the note in a way to make sure our conversation was not eavesdropped on. I will be certain to respect that. As for paper trail, I still we'll see. I don't know if we can see what he thinks.
Let us not forget, if something may be delivered in person, we may get confirmation face to face that we are allowed back in the academy. I know for multiple this table that would be of great interest.
A letter.
Delia, I don't think the letter.
It is. It is. I really hope we can get back in, Slayer. You're right. Okay. Seems like we have an appointment with the captain today.
Indeed, we do.
Alrighty.
Okay.
If you guys don't mind, I just need to meditate real quick.
Yes, of course. Do what you need to.
Are you teaching yoga today too?
I mean, my quote-unquote clientele are not exactly these kind of folks. People that are attracted to me are usually older.
Rich and
yeah. I was trying to be polite, but we got odd again. Cool. What do you guys need from me today? What are we going to be doing today?
talking to people.
Okay.
It's hard to say.
That's not a thing I do. So.
Okay.
Keep that girl out of the way. What's her name?
Which girl?
Oh, the professor who touches me all the time?
Yeah. I don't like it.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
No.
Imagine have it being done to you, dude.
I think maybe something.
To be fair, she means well. I'll
Like-
give her that.
Good.
Thinking maybe something if we need to be stealthy around the academy to get information that we need, something like that.
That I can do. Cool.
Before we go, I'm not one to usually apologize, but I have been showing the side of me that I don't like to show a lot of people. The taking of things or the swiping of things. I do love the name Swipes. Yeah, don't get me wrong. While I'll probably continue to do those things, I promise I will no longer steal anything from anyone in this group. I feel more of a connection now. I feel like I can really trust you guys, and I want you to be able to trust me as well. So
Wait,
I'll
have you
still get a
stolen
story
from me
out.
before?
No, not you.
Oh, okay. I go back to meditating.
Well, Delia, I'm very happy that you feel comfortable enough and trust us enough to be a bit more open. And I hope we can all agree moving forward. No more lies. No more thievery. We're a team.
No more thievery within the group. We may be in a situation in the future where you need my assistance in that way. I need to, snag something or grab something. I mean, I took those papers and look at us now.
It's true. I mean, Delia, it would be cruel of me to deny you and this group your talents. That's all I'll say.
It would. And I appreciate that.
Mm.
Anyways, that's enough of that.
Well, I look forward to getting to know you more. Delia?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, I look forward to getting to know you more. And just hearing about the Feywild from your eyes and from your experiences.
Oh, yeah. Yours as well. I feel like there's a lot to learn about each other.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Delia, I am an open book. What's mine is yours, except what is mine. That is mine.
Are you flirting with me?
No.
Huh. All right.
Not only a no, a god no.
Well, too late. I shipped the fuck out of it, so that's that.
I love turkeys.
Why?
Big
Because they
fan.
both have wings? Wow. Way to put them in a box, Theo.
Alien.
And then Maeve is gonna raise her cup and go to a new chapter. Delia.
A new chapter.
To all of us. To all of us. To a new chapter.
To a new chapter as Maeve raises her glass. Is that yours? Very pointedly gonna make eye contact with Kanan or not Kami. Sorry, campaign 1.
Oh.
But in reference to the discussion last night.
Are you flirting
What?
with him?
No.
Wait, why do I not get what you're trying to tell me?
Huh? Well, she was like, "Oh, we're all grouped together to a new chapter," and
Oh, okay, got it. Yes, Kami definitely gets it and sort of gives a little wink to Zaire.
You're definitely flirting.
you get
Nope.
nothing back from him, but you get
Of course.
looks at you.
That's
Just
good
a
enough.
beak.
For a solid 15 seconds, the whole group is just silently flirting with each other, just lots of eye contact. No, I'm just kidding.
So
What
much
the fuck is going on?
A tiefling walks in with long purple robes.
No.
I've always wanted to have sex with myself.
Michael?
PG-13, folks, huh? PG-13 over here.
Can that be the episode title tonight?
I've always wanted to have sex with myself. Sure.
No, it's a pass.
But it's the internet, so you have to spell it SEGGS for some reason.
Oh my god.
Anyways.
Anyway.
All right, moving
So
on.
what are you all up to after breakfast?
I think we're just going to make our way right to the captain's.
Yep.
All right. So you want to go to the armored quarter and the headquarters there?
Yep.
See.
All right.
Oh, before
Yeah.
we leave, actually, May, did you want to identify whatever his beads were on the bracelet?
Yes. I can do that. Zaire, I can try and figure out what your bracelet is now.
Okay.
Want me to take a look?
Yeah, he just kind of nonchalantly goes into his bag picks him up, and puts him on the table.
Okay. I pick it up and I cast Identify.
Yeah. So these are it's a bracelet with a bunch of silver beads on them, and each of the beads is a bead of returning. And essentially, if you take one of the beads off of the bracelet, it will always roll back towards the bracelet itself.
Interesting.
Ooh.
Okay, so it's if you take a bead.
I'll put it in D&D Beyond too if you want.
That'd be great.
So I'll add that tonight.
Very interesting.
So yeah, each
And
of
then I'm
the
gonna-
beads is its own thing, but the bracelet that it is on is what it will return to.
So you could take off the bead, and then if you dropped it, would it just instantly return back, or
It'll always roll towards it, so it won't go up your body, but it'll stop at your feet, right?
Yeah.
How
Will it-
far? Is there a distance limit? Or just always if someone grabs it from
No distance limit.
What about obstructions?
Ow.
Like if it falls in water?
It'll, best you can tell so far from the identify spell, I suppose, is it will always try to move if it can. If it's put in a box, it's not going to break out of the box or anything like that. But if it's free to roll, it will roll in that direction.
how many beads?
Sick.
There are 10 of them on the bracelet.
That could be fun for our light trick.
Yeah. And then I'm going to get my monocular out. What is it?
Yeah, it's just like a little like
Monocle?
lens that you can look through. It's not like a
Monocle.
telescope, but it's like a little small mini almost telescope you can just put up to your eye. And it's like the opposite of a kaleidoscope. Like it's not magical. Like whatever people did to this, it's not a magical thing, but it
Okay.
turns all the shades of color to basically black and white.
Okay, and then I'd be like, yep, this is cool.
Yeah, I
Cool.
did this last
Love
night, and I'll show you my staff, and I've like tied the frog to my staff.
Aw. Cute.
I'm gonna I'm gonna tie my after seeing Ziggy with that. I'm gonna tie my monocle like around or like tie it as part of my necklace so that I can like bring it up quickly if I need to my eye. Just because.
And I'm just gonna take my coin out and flip it and say, let's see how today's gonna go.
Go ahead and roll a d4.
It's one way to.
We know what
Are you-
Zaire is gonna say.
3.
It lands on remember you will die.
Oh,
A good lesson for us all.
Mm.
I have given zero thought to the necklace. It's buried somewhere in my bag.
Just a trinket.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, let's go talk to the captain.
Okay, you guys head out to the armored quarter. Into the now somewhat familiar headquarters of the city guard. And as you come in, you ask for the captain. After a brief wait,
Right before as we get up to wherever the guard tower is, I'm gonna ask the group, okay, who's doing the talking?
I can talk to the captain. Soldier to soldier.
All right, buddy, and I'll pat you on the back, and I'll give you Eagle Splendor with enhanced ability, so you have advantage on charisma checks.
Nice.
how long does that last?
An hour.
All right. Yeah. So you guys kind of wait there for a few until eventually you are shown into the sort of captain's office, and it is typical like you saw before, very tidied up, very clean. It's got the armor that he seemed to have wore at one point as a soldier, with a weapon mounted on the wall, a long sword, as well as the kind of armor that he wears as in his position and the weapon that he carries on him. And he kind of stands in his office as you all are ushered in, and he kind of waves the door closed behind you, and somebody closes it behind you all. And he says, welcome back. What can I do for you all today?
Yes, Captain Osirian, it's good to see you again. As I'm saying those words, he's hearing in his head, like a la Galadriel, where she's talking, but then also speaking to Frodo in his head.
Mm-hmm.
He hears, what do I want to say? Captain, it's Kami. Can you hear me here as well?
And he kind of like gives a nod, and you hear him respond by voice to something else, essentially, as if continuing a conversation, while at the same time responding to you in his head. And so he seems to be continuing some sort of conversation through speech, but in your head, you hear him respond. He says, "Yes, I'm picking up what you're saying."
But for efficiency here, basically, like Kami and the city guard or the captain are pretty much going to be having small talk. Like, so, like any other updates in that crazy situation, like anything we can do to help. But then he's also like, this is what I'm going to be saying to him in his head, if that's okay with you.
Yep.
Okay. Captain, before we proceed, I need to know truly how committed are you to the people of this city?
I can assure you I am quite committed. And if you have any questions regarding that, I would urge you to return to Dak and speak with him on the matter.
Can I just make an insight check? I mean, I'm pretty confident, but just...
Yeah, go ahead and make an insight check with him.
Well, that's a 7.
Yeah, I mean, you're hearing two different things going on, so you're like, it's a lot to keep track of, and you're
Oh
pretty
yeah.
impressed that he's able to do it.
Mhm.
But trying to like make an insight into one or the other is just like you don't really have the bandwidth to try and tap into that at the moment.
Okay. Of course, I don't mean to question your allegiance. We've been able to address the problem you sent us to deck to further explore. I have proof I'm willing to share with you.
I heard that he'd sent you all after the problem, and I assumed since you all were back that it was good news. Hopefully, what is it that you've discovered?
It seems that there was some sort of menacing, I don't even know if it's a man, a creature, it's hard to explain. It was very bizarre when we found it. After engaging this creature in combat and neutralizing it, we found what seemed to be some sort of records of its malfeasance here in the city, and I have those here today. As part of the records, we also found that this creature seemed to not be operating alone, and there was another threat targeting the farms, as you mentioned to us, the outskirts of the city, and I have some records of that as well. I would perhaps urge you to send some of your men to these farms. It might be a little bit more of uh, it might be a little less conspicuous or an unroutine, less unroutine, I should say, than sending them into the sewers. But if there's anything else we can do for you, please.
Do we know why this is happening? Or are these just madmen intent on bringing the city down for some reason?
It's hard to say, Captain. Gel Lida is a shining beacon. It's a shining city on the hill. And that light attracts a lot of flies.
Make a deception check.
I have advantage, right?
Yes, you
That's
do.
Eagle's Thunder. I hate lying. I don't like lying. Deception. Here we go. 13.
Well, he rolled a 2 on his insight, so. um, that is troubling, but I suppose you're right. I can attempt to send some men out to the farms under the guise of ensuring the farmers are still under the thumb of the barons, so to speak. Doing a check on the food supply of the barons. Perhaps they would not raise any red flags with something like that. Any thought on what I should be looking for out there?
It's hard to say if this is connected to the rat problem or if this is something different entirely. I mean, we ourselves have not been out to the farms to investigate, so we have no further insight like what we saw at the warehouses. So it's hard for us to say, but perhaps that's something your men should just look out for first. They don't need to necessarily maybe address any immediate threat, but try and see if they can gather some clues of what might be antagonizing the farmers. And as you know, within your authority as captain, act accordingly.
I will see what I can do. I appreciate the information that you've been able to provide thus far. It's been a great service, and even if we are still trying to solve the problem out at the farms, at least knowing the storehouses here in the city have been secured is it will go a long way.
Yes, please. I know your hands are tied, but please do everything in your power to make sure as the warehouses begin to fill again, that food goes to the people who truly need it here in the city.
I can appreciate your commitment to that as well. Have you been back to speak with Dak?
We have not. No, you are our first stop upon the turning.
I appreciate that. If you have some time, maybe stop in and speak with him again. And then
Of course, I have to stop at the inn anyway to pick up an item. So,
and so at this point, he starts speaking just no longer in your head, but just out loud again. And he says, "Oh, it's good that you all stopped in here as well. You've been requested with the Grand Arbiter of the city. Seems there's been some movement on the investigation, and I believe it's good news. So I think there's just a final ruling on that. And if you all wish to stop in there and speak with him at some point today, I'm sure he can give you the official news himself."
thank you so much, Captain. And I'll go in to shake his hand, and sticking out of my bracer is the papers that we had pulled aside from me. So basically, in the same fashion he gave me the note the first time, I'm going to slip him the papers he needs to help with his own case.
Okay, and he'll just kind of shake your hand, and as he kind of pulls it back, you can feel the papers kind of slip out from your bracers, and he kind of like puts his hands down by his side, and as he does, you can kind of notice the papers kind of slip into the pockets or the pouch that he has there. And yeah, are you guys kind of turning and heading out at that point?
Yeah.
I think so.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, he kind of moves and to open the door for you, and kind of stands as you all kind of empty out of the office, and then he closes the door behind you and goes back in. And yeah, where are you guys off to next?
Our janitor arbiter, right?
Would I or Ziggy know which one was closer?
Yes, but would I is the question. Between essentially the Grand Arbiter and Dak.
Yeah.
It would be Dak.
Well, I guess we don't know the conversation yet.
That's true.
So
Yeah, I'll tell the crew. I'll say, the captain advised us to speak to Dak, and also, as you heard in there, we have some answers regarding the investigation.
Well, Dak is closer to where we are now, so we can swing by. I do believe, Kami, you are picking up a special item, so...
Yeah, although I realize it's actually at the Leatherworks, not at the Dwarfic Masonry, and the Leatherworks is literally right next door, so I might stop in there first.
So
May will also go with you to stop in for her little cup holder for Lynn.
The loon koozie. The loon koozie.
So, Dak / leather shop.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You can do some light shopping.
Shopping?
Shopping?
Shopping.
That was above game. Sorry.
So you all return to the to Namida's, right?
Mm-hmm.
And as you walk in, there's no sign of Namida, but you do see Elisha, who's his apprentice. And she kind of sees you all walk in, and she nods, and she says, "Ah, the slug armor, yes?
Yes.
Yes.
That's right. That was her project. That's right.
That was a good time. I had a lot of fun with that one. It was like a little doll armor. It was cute. And she goes kind of behind the counter and she pulls out a little wrapped package. And she kind of unties it. And within it is a very small, maybe like that big, set of leather armor. And there's some ties on it, as well as like there's she kind of shows you. She's like, well, these kind of like tie off, and then there's like a belt that kind of like, because he's kind of like fat up at the top and then like slim at the bottom, so it goes like over his head, and there's a way to like sort of tighten it around the bottom so it'll like stay on.
Cute.
And there's like kind of like some clasps and things that she included on there. And
Okay, this is incredible. He just has to try it on. So in my cloak, there I have a loon pocket in my cloak, which is where he hides when you don't see him. So I bring him out. I set him down on a table, and then I put the little armor on him with the help of what is her name again?
Alasha.
Awesome.
With Alasha's help, so that I know how to put it on properly.
Yep, and she kind of shows you, and it just takes a minute or two. And Loon the whole time just kind of like has his arms outstretched, so you just kind of like slip it over his outstretched arms. And yeah, it kind of just like fits very snugly onto it, and it's kind of just nothing fancy, just kind of a basic leather armor. But it does give him, I think, an extra +2 to his AC.
Oh,
My God.
Little buddy.
so strong. Oh, he's so cute. And then I'm gonna like give him like little like scratches where I can, and then see if he's happy, if he looks happy, and
Gives like a little slug wiggle.
and I'll put him back in my pocket.
Alasha looks up from that. She seems very happy with this whole thing. She's very amused at the very least. She looks over to you though, Kami, and she says, "You, however, the master is still working on, I believe, the bracers. It is a new undertaking for him, and he has been. I have not seen him since he's gone back with the hide that you brought in. So it is." It's brand new. He's trying to figure it out, so it's going to take a little bit more time. But hopefully, he should have those done for you soon.
Do you have a guess of when they could be finished?
Just maybe give him till tomorrow at the very least. It's been only about a day, I think, right, since you guys dropped it off.
Yeah, it's been a little bit longer than that.
A day.
I think you
I
did it
dropped
before.
them off.
Or 3.
The day before.
I dropped
you went
them
to the
off.
sewer, right?
I dropped them off. Yeah, 2 sessions ago, 3 sessions ago. I dropped them off 2 sessions ago.
I think that was just the day
Which
before the sewers, though. Either the
Yeah,
day
but you
of
went
or the
through
day
it the whole
before,
time.
which is
that was so. It's
Yeah.
been 2 days. So
Okay,
2 sessions.
but yeah, she says give it till probably tomorrow, and just give him the chance to. He's very particular about his work, and with it being a new material, he's trying his best for you.
thank you. Okay, well, let's get out of here.
Good luck to you and Loon. Was it?
Yes.
Good
Thanks,
luck.
Alasha. Thank you. We'll be back just to say hi. Okay, bye.
Okay, to Doc now, right? At Dwarf Speak Masonry, huh?
Let's go.
Okay. So you all return to Dwarf's Pick. And in a sort of similar fashion, you guys kind of enter in, you ask for Dak, he kind of comes out to the front, and then he ushers you all back to what is clearly his private residence, kind of behind the shop there. And he kind of welcomes you all in, he sits you down, and he pours everybody a glass of some kind of tea. It seems like it's very aromatic. And he kind of sits down with you all and takes a sip and says, welcome back. Is there hopefully good news from the sewers?
Yeah, I guess you can call it that. We were able to take care of the problem down there. At least the problem that was impacting the city storehouses of food. There was some sort of a creature or something that was controlling the rats and sending them to cause issues with the food, but that problem has been taken care of.
It was disgusting.
I don't doubt that, but very appreciative of that. What was it that was causing all this? And tell me. I mean, tell me what happened down there and stuff. Do you guys want to kind of relay the whole story of how you fought this thing, or are you trying to keep some things to yourself? I'm not sure. I didn't want to assume anything.
Do we trust this guy? Do we feel
We
like
did not say as a group. We did not actually decide this. So, as far as I understand, we're presenting him the same information we told the city guard.
okay?
He means more of like telling the story of like how you fought this thing and stuff like that.
Yeah, because that's what we told the captain too. We were like, yeah, there's this like weird rat man thing, and he had all the rats, and we'll probably tell him too. Like, we gave the stuff to the captain.
Yeah.
So I'm sure he'll be in touch with you or like whatever.
Got it.
Yeah.
Okay. So yeah, after you kind of relay all that, says, well, I can certainly see why some of the city guard were lost previously. It seems like it was not insignificant down there, whatever this thing was. But as promised, like I said, I scraped together some payment to solve the problem, and from some of the other business owners around here in coastal Gel Lida, we scraped together about 300 gold pieces for y'all. And he kind of holds out a big pouch, throws it on the table for you. Says it's not a ton, but you know, if it solves the problem, it's what we got. And I think it's well worth it.
Well, we are very grateful for this. I guess if there's anything else that comes up, please keep us informed of your efforts.
Well, I have to say, it sounds like you all are friends of the citizens of Gel Lida, and I very much appreciate that. And I feel like maybe I should inform you that there has been some changes on the wind here in Gel Lida. The captain and I, as you've already, you know, have probably noted, are working together in a number of ways. And there is a resistance of sorts blossoming here within Gel Lida against the barons. We have noted and noticed that there is a need for change in leadership here in the city. And we think that the way that this food shortage has been handled, or rather not handled, simply drove that point home and exacerbated the situation further. I mean, going back, the barons seized power in the city thanks to their wealth and their influence, as well as the need for a trade hub after the fall of the empire. We've all heard the history behind it. But circumstances are changing now. Peaceful trade will no longer be enough to keep Gel Lida in its seat of power, and it won't be enough to keep the barons fat and happy without them having to care for the rest of the city. It's just not how it's going to work anymore. I'm afraid blood and steel will shape the future of the city, as well as probably the future of the continent. And if the rulers of the city don't care to adapt to this new reality, then I think it's our job to ensure the city doesn't collapse under their misrule. And so we've begun a sort of resistance movement here in the city. We go by the name the Passant Guard, and we are building following and credibility among the people of Gel Lida, and we hope to unseat the barons who have clearly lost touch with the citizens that they rule over. And we think that you all may be a useful ally in this.
And how would
My
you?
understanding correctly, Zach, that you and the captain of the city guard, the paramount figure of law enforcement in the city, are planning not only an uprising, but a bloody uprising against the government structure of the city.
We don't want it to be a bloody battle. I think you took my words out of context a bit. I'm speaking of more of the fight for the continent, and the larger political situation here will probably result ultimately in the need for a strong military force, a strong ability to defend ourselves, um, beyond just being a economic hub. But hopefully, I'm hoping if we can rally the people of the city to sort of shrug off the Baron's rule, that it won't have to be violent. Not here in the city, at least.
And how would you rule?
Or
I don't
who?
plan to be
Who
the
would
one who
rule?
will rule.
How
I
would
hope that
the Sant Guard rule?
we would begin, hopefully, by making sure that all the citizens of the city are provided for, that things like the food shortage do not only impact the poorest and most vulnerable members of the city. And after that, I think we would have to begin reestablishing Gel Lida as not only an economic hub, but as a military powerhouse as well, to ensure that things like this don't bring us down in the future, that we are not vulnerable to whatever may be happening here across the continent. And he kind of looks at you, Kami, and he says, I'm sure from your own background, you can appreciate the need for um, the need for strength amidst turmoil.
Of course. And what is it? Where do we fit into this equation? Why are you sharing this information with us now?
Well, I think it's clear that you all have been valuable already in solving one of the biggest problems that we faced in the last few months. And I think it shows a desire to help the people of the city. And that's what ultimately what we want to do. And I think you can be helpful in that. There's nothing that you would have to commit yourself to, of course, but if things like this arise in the future, we may just turn to you once again.
Sounds like quite a commitment.
Of course, no need to commit to anything now. I hope I can trust your um, secrecy on the matter, just keeping it to yourselves. But ultimately, it's up for you each to decide on your own if this is something you want to participate in. I know you guys aren't necessarily from the city, but if you decide to leave the city and never come back, I won't hold it against you. But if you stay, I hope that you stay to help.
Thank you, Jack. I think
Yeah,
there are a lot of. Go ahead, Delia.
I mean, we all have secrets, obviously. But there's a lot to talk about here. Maeve, what were you going to say?
Yeah, as I say, we can keep the secret, and it seems like Jack, there's a lot of changes on the wind across this entire continent. Maybe not even just this continent, but other planes as well. Even from where I'm from. So just so we know, when are you putting this in motion, or when is the Passant Guard going to start making their moves against the Barons? Just so we can be ready.
I think many of those details are kept quiet for the most part. But if there comes a
Detect
time
thoughts.
where you commit to it and you want to be a part of it and it becomes relevant, then the right people will fill you in.
Amazing. And I'm using detect thoughts the second I ask that question.
Okay. And so this is just the surface thoughts for now, right?
Just surface. Yeah,
So
just surface.
no saving throw or anything.
Mm-mm.
Yeah, so his thoughts as you kind of are asking this, they flick kind of towards some of the details. It seems like he kind of like wants to tell you guys, and then he kind of like catches himself and is like, no, it's probably for the best to not share too much too quickly. But you do kind of get kind of like the first words that were going to be out of his mouth before he caught himself. And you kind of get like he was going to say kind of like when the time is right and we're waiting for kind of like what their response will be to what's going on now with like this food shortage and stuff. So it seems like from the detect thoughts, essentially, it's not like they're storming the Alcazar tomorrow, but it's also like this isn't something that's just going to be sitting around. This is something where they're kind of waiting for their moment.
So the sense would be that they're prepared.
Yes, that's kind of what you get from
Okay.
that.
Okay. Cool.
Well, this is certainly a lot to process. I guess we will stand by.
How will you contact us?
Well, if you all decide that you would like to be a part of this, then come back and see me, and we can go from there. But again, I won't hold you to anything. The work you've done already has been more than helpful, and if you all decide that that's it, and you wish to take your 300 gold and leave the city and all that happens here behind, that is your decision.
Okay.
But I will be here, and this is what I've committed myself to. And if this is something that you all want to be a part of, I would gladly have your help. But that's for you all to decide on your own. And if you wish to come back and see me when you've made that decision, that's up to you.
Well,
And he kind of tilts the cup back, kind of finishes his tea and puts it down and stands up to kind of show you guys back out through the main shop. Um, and as he's kind of leaving, um, he grabs a couple of like small like stone carvings of things, and he just kind of like hands one to like you, Maeve, and another one to you, Whirl. He says, "Take these with you. If anybody asks, you were in here purchasing these." And so one of them is like it's like a small little statue, maybe like that big or so, of a lion with like its paw raised and kind of in a snarl. And the other one looks to be like a instead of like wide, it's a little bit taller, but about the same size. And it appears to be like an elven woman with like a bow and arrow, like a very finely carved stone statuette of an elven archer. And they're just little like kind of trinkets. And he's just like, if anybody asks, you were in here buying these.
Noted.
thank you.
And yeah, you guys kind of head out the way you came in. And whatever's next.
I think we're heading to the Arbiter next.
We are.
Okay. So for this, you head from the Dorspick building, you head towards the city center, and you actually head up towards the Baron's Alcazar, the walled sort of palace in the center of the city, which is the seat of government here. And at the guard gate at the front, you're stopped for a moment, kind of somebody asks you what you're doing there. You kind of let them know you're here to see the Grand Arbiter about, all this stuff. And they're kind of like, oh, yeah, okay, we gotcha. They show you in, and you're brought into the Baron's Alcazar. And as you kind of come through the walls that separate it from the rest of the city, you kind of walk in and take a look around for a minute. And it is a very lush, sort of large lawn that's decorated with like shrubberies and flowers, and there's like patterns called like of flowers of different colors that like make up different patterns throughout the grounds. There's a large fountain that's kind of here, um, and you can kind of see the lake stretching behind it, and the water kind of like out, basically being the background for this opulent palace. And eventually you're ushered inside, and as you make your way through the halls, they're very like marble, stone halls, very grand, very tall, a lot of like columns and pillars and things. Um, and eventually you're led into sort of a what am I thinking of? It's not a semicircle. It's like a quarter circle with like a podium at the front, and then there's like rows of like benches and things. Um, and standing at the podium in the front is an older gentleman um, with sort of very tidily kept white hair, very clean shaven, um, kind of very pale skin. And as you all are kind of ushered in, he kind of stands there at the podium or the lectern at the front and kind of like opens his palms up to you all. And he says, welcome, welcome. Uh, I am Grand Arbiter Alvar Payero. And as you may or may not already know, here in the city, I am the leader of the Baron's Arbiters. We rule on behalf of the city leadership. So we pass down their judgments, pass down their hearings on matters, complaints, issues, any charges, and we do that on their behalf. And first of all, is there anything that you guys had any questions with regarding everything? Um, I know you all have been restricted in your time here in the city, and I do apologize for that. But I'm happy to say that we have conducted our investigation into the events that happened at the academy. And we've concluded that you lot have been cleared of any wrongdoing. Um, the small problem of the resources provided to Professor Mons via the Reaper's Playground have been discussed and dealt with. And so long as no similar actions are to continue, the Barons are willing to overlook the infraction due to the benefit that the pit provides to the city. And as such, any further restrictions are lifted, and any other issues you may have, you're welcome to take up directly with the responsible party. But we have to say thank you for what you were able to help out with during the events there at the Academy. And if there's anything further you need, let us know.
So, have you found that anyone was guilty of wrongdoing?
It seems that Professor Mons was engaging in some experiments that were not previously cleared with the Academy, and they got out of hand, as they do sometimes.
I'm
And
going
given that Professor
over it
Mons
that
was
year and give
an
him a look.
unfortunate, given that Professor Mons was an unfortunate casualty in the events, um, we feel that there is nothing further that needs to be done regarding that aspect of it.
The
Well,
professor, the professor was a dear friend of mine. Is his stuff still in his office, or has the academy leadership dealt with that?
It is my understanding that the Academy leadership has assumed control of all of that, and um, if you are interested in what may have been included in that, I'm afraid you'd have to take it up with the headmistress.
Great.
But as I said, I do apologize for the restrictions that we placed on you all. I hope you understand it was just so we could get a grip on exactly what had happened there. But we welcome you to stay in the city if that's what you wish, but you are also free to leave now as well.
Fantastic. Maeve, is there anything else you wanted to ask? Or is that for the headmistress? Okay, never mind. Thank you so much for your time.
Thank
And,
you, thank you, thank you.
He kind of ushers or kind of like motions his arms out again, and you hear kind of the doors at the back of the room open up once again, and you all are kind of not ushered out, but they kind of wait for you all to make your way out before closing the doors behind you. And if there's nothing else you guys were trying to do while you were excuse me, oh god, while you're at the Alcazar, they would probably just usher you off the ground, or escort you off the grounds, and then leave you at the front of the gates by the Alcazar.
Well, that's some good news.
I'm pleased.
That's how the barons live? Woo!
It is,
Are we out of the building?
Yeah, you're not only out of the building, you're out of the walled center of it as well, so you're back on like the streets of Gel Lida now.
Zaire, what was that smirk?
What smirk?
You had kind of a weird face when they mentioned that professor man was up to some shady business. You looked pleased, sly. I don't know.
is it possible for beaks to smirk?
It's the eyes.
It's the eyes.
All in the eyes.
Eyes.
It wasn't swag. Pride.
Well,
I hate cities. Cities
Zig.
are a lot.
Oh, Ziggy. Well, the good news for you, Glitter, is that there is a whole world outside of these
Oh, I
walls.
know. I
And we
prefer to
can
be out
leave
there.
now. Yeah.
I mean,
Why do you stay here?
I was just passing through, and then I got swept up in all of this.
I thought you lived here.
I've like been spending some time here, but like that was just
Oh.
I make the rounds through here every now and then, but
Oh, my bad. I thought Ziggy was he knew the people and knew the spots.
yeah, I come through, every I don't know, a couple decades or whatever. But like yeah.
Yeah, I mean, so basically as the DM's perspective here, he's been in the city here for like maybe a couple weeks because he's just kind of like found some people that he liked and is just kind of like been hanging out. But like he's definitely not like a permanent resident here.
Got it.
well, hey, we got gold.
We did. So we each get 60 gold.
Hmm.
I've honestly never had this much money in my life. What do people use this for? Like this is so much money.
It's a good question, Ziggy. I'm sure you got a little taste of it from where we just were. What you can do with lots of money. I don't think we're quite there yet, but
Oh.
Ziggy, mostly it's just to make themselves feel important.
Ziggy, you can buy some new equipment for your yoga class.
It's true. But like I feel like a good yoga class doesn't need equipment. You know what I mean?
What time of day is it?
What kind of day is it?
what time?
Oh, time. I mean,
What
it's probably like midday-ish at this point. Not too late. Maybe early afternoon.
Well, with the restrictions lifted, I'm gonna take a stroll over to the academy. Would anybody like
I'm
to join?
coming with you.
I'll come with.
Listen, you guys
Tommy,
don't
come on.
I will let you handle your first dive into the academy. There's somewhere else I wanted to check out anyway. I can meet up with you guys after, but I know you'll find good things there, Maeve.
I know I will. It's what we've been looking for.
Oh,
Fingers crossed.
hey, who's accompanying me? Maeve and Delia.
I don't
You got the-
really want to go back. Do you
That's
need
fine, we
some
can-
company, Kami?
This one I prefer to do alone if it's okay,
Yeah, no worries.
Ziggy. Thank you
May,
for
in
offering.
your head, all of a sudden, you hear your dad's voice. He says, Maeve, I'm sorry. We were dealing with an unseelie assault. Prince was spotted near one of the portals. Giving trouble to Oberius? We'll continue to track.
Sorry, Dad,
Okay,
there's lag. There's lag.
Who did you say was giving trouble to Oberius? I know I'm not hearing it, but just a question.
Unseelie prince spotted near the portals, giving trouble to Oberius is all I caught.
Question.
And then we'll continue to track.
Okay.
I guess I'll go with you guys. I can. I haven't checked in with astronomy lady, man. I that was so long ago.
The
That I
lady.
don't. It was a lady.
The lady.
All right.
Okay.
Where will we find you after? Also, I feel like Maeve had like a "That's So Raven" moment where like we're all in a conversation, and then Maeve just
If you want, I can meet you guys back at the Seaside Inn if that's where we want to spend the night tonight again.
Well, I feel like Delia has a permanent residence there, so
Hey, I've got gold now.
sending it.
Also, Zaire, you don't forget you guys had discussed accompanying Timu on an expedition
did.
at some
Yes,
point.
we did.
Oh, that's right.
But okay, so who's doing what?
Was when we did the armor, and I thought he had said like much like not. It wouldn't be like today, right? It would be like in.
It was like the following week because it was like the weekend, and then he was like midweek. He was going to go out again for the next weekends.
So in context, like how many days do we have? Like, is it like tomorrow?
No.
Tomorrow or the day after. You can also go talk to him. It wasn't like he was like had a set date. If you guys were like, we want to go out later, he probably wouldn't like fight you on it. But it was within like a day or two, probably.
All right. I mean, yeah. I'm tracking that.
Yep. So who's going where? Sorry.
They're all going to the academy, and I'm going on a different errand.
Okay. So everybody going to the academy is everybody except Kami, yeah?
Yep.
All right. And what is it that you all are going there for? What are you guys trying to do?
I want to gain access to Professor Mone's quarters and/or his belongings. Try to see what he was working on, if he figured some stuff out, if I could see what he figured out.
Okay.
I know I'm stupid, but would I like have recognized that my magic interacted with that weird thing he had? Would I like recognize that as like something to look into?
The like contraption that was there in the room?
Yeah.
Yeah, you probably would have picked up on
All
that.
right. Yeah, I would.
Did you want to go with Zaire in that
Yeah,
case?
I wouldn't mind knowing more because it seems like my stuff
Okay.
interacts with his stuff. I don't know what either of those two things are, but I know a
Okay.
connection when I see one.
And May, you are going for what?
I'm going for the archives or someplace where I can search for information.
Okay. And will you just going to go or?
Same. I am also looking for some information.
Okay. So let's go with probably in the beginning. Let's say you guys are all going to speak with the headmistress.
Mm-hmm.
As you kind of go in there and you are talking to people, it just seems like that is the seems like they're made aware of who you all are, and we're kind of directed to point you in the direction of the headmistress upon your return to the academy. And so eventually you are led to the office of the headmistress, Candela Brudelar, who is in Asimar. Very tall, very kind of pale woman. with a very like kind of imposing figure as well as an imposing demeanor. Um, and she is kind of seated behind her desk as you all are kind of ushered in. And she stands as you come in, and she says, "Welcome, welcome back to the academy. Please do have a seat if you will." And she ushers out a couple of seats that are around the room. And she returns to her own seat at that point, and she says, "First, have to apologize. Um, I know this was handled, and it was handled by the book, but still, as guests of the city and of the academy, you all were treated perhaps a bit too harshly, and I'm sorry that that happened to you all. But I welcome you all back to the academy. If there's anything that you are looking for during your time here, I know you all had come to the academy for various reasons when all of the events took place, and if we can perhaps um, assist you in whatever it is that you had come here for, um, we'd be happy to. So, what can I do for you all?
Delia Whirl is just kind of slouched in her chair, arms crossed. Oh, I'm fine. Just looking to do a little bit of research. I really appreciate it, though.
Of course. Well, the uh, the study archives and the library here at the academy are mostly at your disposal. I hope you understand there are some things that are still restricted, but you're welcome to the public section there. And did you already have a letter?
Yes. Yes.
Is it
I
still in good standing? Do you need me to update it?
um I believe it's in great standing. I think I'm just fine. Do I need it to access certain things?
You will for passage through the academy halls and to return here at any point.
I'll let you know if I have any issues. I think I should be just fine.
Very good. And the rest of you, is there anything? Yes.
I'm at the May is at the edge of her seat. She's like her leg is bouncing. She's like, I've waited a really long time for access to this great academy's archives and information and knowledge, and I don't know. I'm just really it's just really exciting. So there's a public section. I'll go there first. I'm wondering, you gave me a letter, right? Or can am I okay to walk on my
I would
own?
be happy to write you a letter to
Okay.
allow you a letter of entry. Um, is there anything in particular that you're looking for? Perhaps I can point you in the right direction, or offer one of our staff to assist you.
That would be great. I think I know how libraries work. So like I'm pretty good at finding stuff. But if I have any issues, I will definitely come to you or find one of your assistants to help.
Very well. And she kind of pulls out a piece of parchment and starts writing on it as she kind of looks up to the other two of you that are there. And the two of you, are you also going to be needing letters for the archives?
Is this is the headmistress?
Yes.
I have a big old grin on my face and be like, "Do I get a letter?"
Yes, Ziggy. I welcome you to the halls of the academy if that is what you wish.
Yeah.
I feel that you've earned it, and there is some interest in you in particular among some of the um, faculty.
Yeah, actually, speaking of which, part of that was a little bit related to the nonsense that went down in the you know, whatever that room was in what's his name?
Professor Mond.
Professor Mon. Like some of that was related to me, so I was wondering if me and my buddy Zaire could go to his room to figure out what was left.
She finishes writing, and you watch as she puts a wax seal to the parchment and hands it to you, May. And she says, "What was your name again? I apologize."
That year.
Maeve,
No, she's looking at May.
Oh.
Maeve, Gideon, Thorian.
She kind of scribbles that quickly on it and hands you
No,
the
no, no.
paper.
Sorry. You should get my full first name is Mavriel, Gideon Thorian.
She kind of takes the paper back, seems to scribble something, and as she hands it back, you see it still says May. She didn't change anything.
Thank you.
But hands you the paper and nods to you and Whirl, and kind of as if you guys wanted to leave, you're welcome to leave at this point. And she kind of just turns her attention back to them, kind of like forgetting you guys were really there. But if you were sticking around, you can. That's up to you. But she turns her attention.
Where did you say I want to make sure I avoid it, the secret archives that are completely off limits. I wouldn't want to get in any trouble here.
She kind of just smirks. She says, "Don't worry, you won't be stumbling upon them by accident."
Got him.
All right. Well, thank you, ma'am.
And yeah, turning her attention back to you too. She says, "Yes, I understand that Zaire was your name, correct?
Yes.
I understand you had a relationship with Professor Mons. You were a friend of his.
Yes.
I can certainly appreciate your interest in what he was doing, but the Academy has assumed possession of his artifacts, his notes, and whatever other remnants of his experiments were there. I'd be happy to potentially answer some questions about it, but I'm afraid the possessions themselves are going to have to remain under the care of the Academy."
Is there no way that I can at least look at them, leave them here? But he was a research colleague of mine and my
I
only
can appreciate that.
city.
But no, I'm afraid we won't be able to allow you to see them. But in the interest of academic openness, I would be happy to share some of what we found in case there's anything that you may have that you can offer that maybe would lead us towards perhaps more of an open exchange regarding these things, or at the very least, I can just hopefully quell some of your curiosity on the subject. But I'm afraid the possessions themselves, which we're afraid may still be dangerous or otherwise problematic, so we're keeping them secure.
I may have things your scholars can read or take if you would allow me the same courtesy with Professor Mons' work and notes. Yeah.
Perhaps once we have had the opportunity to uh, ensure the safety of these artifacts, just to make sure that there is, as you probably remember, during the event, there was some sort of explosion that occurred, and we are taking great care to ensure that something like that does not happen again.
It will not.
Um, Again, in the interest of openness and for your role and everything, I can offer you some information that we have been able to glean thus far from what was left behind and what was not destroyed. Um, as you may or may not already know from what we were able to find out, the professor was looking into the ability to cheat or otherwise put off death. Um, there was the contraption that was broken during the fight, as you all, I'm sure, remember. And it seems that that was some sort of machine that was being used to harness star and moonlight. For what purpose, we're not yet sure. But it seems like it may have played some sort of role in the necromantic undertakings of the professor.
Huh.
Um, Additionally, among some of his papers, we found some research into other planes. though there isn't necessarily any information yet on which planes or what the connection there might be. He just seemed to have some interest in some of the other planes, and
Were all of the planes elemental?
again, we're not sure exactly. It didn't seem like he was looking into any one particular plane, more so the existence of multiple planes and um, traversing between them and what all of that might mean, I suppose. It wasn't very narrowed down, and we're still sifting through some of it. But that seems to be an aspect that was included among what we found.
Okay.
Are there any other questions that you might have? I'd be happy to do my best to answer them. But again, we are still keeping things wrapped up for the moment.
Do you know when I may be able to see more, learn more?
Can't say at the moment, but if you are in the city still, and if we feel that it is safe and we are prepared to share some of the information, we can reach out to you.
Okay. Okay.
Is there anything else I can do for you?
Nah, I'm gonna go see my old friend.
Very good. Well, apologies again for the way that this has taken place, but I'm glad that we were able to come to the bottom of it all, and nobody else was hurt along the way. Though I do apologize, or I am sorry for the loss of Professor Mons.
Yeah. He's not truly gone. With that, Zaire going to walk out of the.
Okay. Ziggy, you wanted to do something else while you were there?
I just wanted to go talk to the astronomy professor.
Professor Demink?
Yeah. I want to go find her.
Yeah. So, you familiar with the way through the halls, despite never actually being allowed in here. It's a little bit nice now, not really worrying about it. Like usually you'd kind of like not sneak around because you're a pretty large creature, but
Oh,
like
for sure. I'm just like waving the note in like all of the guards who've thrown me out space.
and yeah, you make your way to the astronomy wing, and Professor Demink is just kind of poring over different books and maps and like star maps and things like that.
Yeah.
As when you come in, she doesn't really notice you there at first.
What's up, Professor? How you doing?
She looks up and she's got kind of like the Professor Trelawney glasses on, you know, big
Oh, I
one.
love her.
And she kind of looks up, kind of cross-eyed, and takes the glasses off and kind of adjusts herself and kind of sees you standing there. She says, Ziggy, hello.
How are you doing?
Oh, you know, trying to solve the mysteries of the universe.
Yeah,
How are
about
you?
uh I'm all right. It's been a couple days, but I just wanted to thank you for everything. Uh, I know that they're really stingy with like grant money around here, so I hope this can help. And I'm just gonna give her, I don't know, how much gold do I have? uh, I'm gonna give her 30 gold. I don't know if that's enough.
Aww.
So I'm
Oh,
just gonna give her
That's
30
cute.
gold and be like, I got a lot of money. I don't really know what to use it for, but I know that like your stuff can be expensive. So here you go.
she kind of like reaches out and as she kind of like sees what you dropped in her hand, she says, Ziggy, I couldn't accept this. This is too much.
Well, I don't know what to do with it, and like you can use it, so I'd rather it go to use than just sit in my pocket.
Well, thank you. I don't know what I ever did to deserve this kind of gift, but I can assure you it will be put to great use here at the Academy.
Cool. Oh, actually, I did have a question.
Yes.
So you know how Professor Mons is dead and all that stuff?
Yes, I was very sorry to hear about everything that happened. I heard you played a role in it actually, and
Yeah.
stopping
So
it.
I had a question. So turns out he was like looking into like immortality and whatnot. And I don't really care about that. But there was like this apparatus in his room that I bent starlight through it and it fucking exploded. And that was scary. And you know stars and stuff. And yeah, you know how like I have a connection with stars. I don't know. I don't know. Do you have any idea of why that might have been connected to what he was doing?
No, I remember he had asked me about that, which is why we were going down there that day.
Yeah.
He seemed to think that moonlight or starlight or the positioning of one or the other might play some sort of role in his experiments. Um, the machine that you're talking about, I was attempting to figure out more about it in the aftermath. I was tasked by the headmistress to see if I knew anything more about it. It just seemed to harness and focus it.
Okay.
As you are aware, moonlight is obviously a little bit easier to
Yeah.
harness and focus, but the starlight is something that to date has been tough to grasp, tough to harness. Um, and this machine that he apparently built, as far as I'm aware, it seemed to do just that. Um, and I do wonder if perhaps with your unique abilities, if you didn't somehow overload it uh, with maybe what you were attempting to do, as it seems to have to take
Gotcha.
very, very faint starlight and harness and focus it. And so when you perhaps included a much more powerful um, radiant energy, I think maybe that overloaded it somehow. Um, but that's only what happened when you all were there.
Right.
I'm still not sure exactly what he was using it for.
Do you happen to know where they put all that stuff?
No, the headmistress keeps it all locked up pretty tight, and I wouldn't dare venture outside her rules on this.
Can I insight check her to see if she knows where it is and is not telling me, as opposed to like legitimately just doesn't even want to know?
Yeah, go ahead and make an insight check.
18 on the die with a +8, 26.
Yeah, I mean, you've gotten to know her fairly well. You spent probably the most time with her out of anybody else in the city, besides your kind of party members now at this
Yeah.
point. Um, and for the most part, you know that she would have been interested only in sort of what she could find out from it. And besides that, like, she didn't care
Yeah.
to know. Like,
Okay.
she was like, I'm not going to look into it. Like, if they come to me asking for questions about it, I'll do my best to answer it. But, like, it's something that she's clearly, it seems to be like uncomfortable with a little bit.
Yeah.
She clearly is uncomfortable with whatever Professor Mons was attempting to do. And so was just like, I'll answer their questions, but I am staying out of it because I don't like what was going on.
Okay. Well, I don't want to get you in trouble, but like, you may not know where those particular things are, but do you know where they would lock anything up?
Um, I
Just
mean,
this is
there's
like the
some of
first this
the
is like the first lead on anything me related I've had in a really long time.
well, that I'm actually looking into myself. I I don't have any answers yet, but and with the gold actually that you gave me, I'm hoping to put it back into that research. There are some maps I'm planning on having drawn up myself of the constellation specifically. Um, I have a theory that they're moving. I'm not sure what that means, and so I'd like to map them out more regularly. And so paying somebody to do that would obviously help me a great deal. And so I can do that now. Um, and I hope to. I don't want to make the same machine, as that seemed to be a bit dangerous, but I'm hoping to find somebody who might be able to replicate the machine that you're talking about. or that we were discussing, and different purpose. Again, I don't know entirely what he was using it for, but just being able to get a better look and more accurate readings at these kind of things, perhaps that might help me in that direction as well. So I assure you, it's still something that I'm looking into, as I know that's a question you've had for a long time. And with the money that you've given me, I'm hoping I can put it towards at least some of it towards that, and it might help uncover some more answers.
Okay.
And she kind of
Well,
goes off on a long rant about all this stuff. You get very
if
excited
that's
about it.
what you're gonna use gold for, I'm gonna give her another 20 gold.
Oh, no, I assure you, what you've given me thus far should be plenty to get me started. If you come back and we need more, then perhaps we can
Okay.
discuss it then. But do
Uh,
keep it for yourself.
one friend to another. What should I use this for then? I don't.
Well, there's always the luxury goods. You could get yourself a nice dinner. Have you ever had a mud bath? Truly wonderful
No, that
in
sounds
the Lake
great.
District. You can get a mud bath. It's very relaxing. Um, take it down to one of the stores and find yourself some new,
I do like
I don't know,
rocks.
foraging things. Or you like rocks, you said?
Yeah, I like rocks, like
Yeah,
crystals and
well,
stuff.
there's those. Spend it on whatever makes you happy, Ziggy.
Huh? That's weird. All right. Well, have a good one.
Yeah, well, I'll let you know if I find anything.
All right, I'm staying at the Seaside Inn, so if you wanna let me know anything, that's at least that's where I'll be for the foreseeable future.
I'll come calling for you there.
Thank you.
Good to see you, Ziggy. Take care of
Yeah,
yourself.
you too.
And she kind of puts on her big giant glasses again and goes back to kind of poring over things and um okay. Um Maeve and Whirl, you guys are shown to the archives, which is a little bit different from the library of Gel Lida, which is the public library. This has some more of like the writings of some of the professors, even some student writings and research and things. It's a little bit more academic in nature, a little bit more updated. The library is like a lot of older writings and things. This is maybe like more updated reports and research and things like that. So I will go with each of you and let me know what it is you're looking for, and then we'll make an investigation check on maybe what you find. So May, let's start with you.
Okay.
What is it
I'm
that you're
looking
looking
for. Yeah. So I'm gonna assume that me and Whirl, Celia went separate ways because we're looking for different things. Sweet.
Probably. That's it. Yeah.
All right. Cool. So I am looking for one, anything about the Blade song, the original Blade song, and two, anything about Archfey Oberius. So anything about uh, his history, his strengths, his weaknesses, anything that would give me information and intel that I can use in my planning moving forward. And then also anything on Fey portals and where they are, given the news from my dad.
Okay. Um, Go ahead and make an investigation check for me.
Oh, come on. You didn't guide me, did you, Ziggy? Nope, you didn't. It's okay.
I'm
Gotta
sure
do it without
it would
guidance.
only last for a minute anyway, so.
Mm-hmm.
I was running to the stacks. All right.
Running and running and running. Hit stacks.
That is a 21.
Yeah.
Dirty
Wow.
21.
Very good. Okay.
Oh, it has to be a dirty 21. Yeah, 21.
Natural
So
21.
That's what I want.
first thing you're looking for with the Blade song, all you really find about that specifically is sort of the myths and legends that you're kind of familiar with already. But there is some familiarity with that here in the terrestrial plane as well. So there is the myths about this like legendary, um, powerful ability that some say it was like one man used to possess it and everybody else has been trying to imitate it all along. Some say that it's like a physical weapon. Some are saying it's just a spell that anybody can learn. But there's a lot of different myths and theories about it, most of which you're familiar with already.
Okay.
Looking into Oberius and the Oberian Conclave. Still not a ton known about the Oberian Conclave. The last information that's available seems to be from the Alder expedition that concluded operations probably a few years ago at this point, after rescuing as many captives as they could find. However, once the group began to suffer what it considered unacceptable casualties, the operations were concluded, and the remainder of the conclave was left to its own devices in the Feywild. However, during that, there are some writings about sort of the weaknesses, and if they were to continue operations, how could they go about it? And one of the weaknesses of Oberius that they mentioned is that he is very sort of cocky. He's very egotistical. And so he is, that can kind of maybe be used against him if you're able to kind of like use that. He very much thinks himself always right. He thinks himself kind of the smartest, best, most powerful kind of archfey that exists. So that was kind of one of the weaknesses that is mentioned there. And then, and as far as portals, that was the other thing, right?
Yep.
Portals in the to the Feywild. There's the one that's mentioned that you are familiar with already, which is in the Alder Forest, which is where the Alder expedition departed from and returned to. There is word that one of them exists somewhere on Mount Heliana, which is the mountain to the east of Gel Lida. There is rumors that one exists within the Firefall Mountains, within the Silver Bog, or near the Silver Bog. It's not exactly specified where. Those are kind of the ones that are mentioned as potential, but there's not like an exact location for them that's listed. These are mostly theorized. And I think that's probably most of what you get from your research for the day. Kind of jumping around to cover couple different topics, so it takes you a little while, but you're able to glean a little bit of information at least.
Okay.
And Whirl.
So, well, one of my questions is, I mean, I'm doing more research about the Oberian Conclave. Went ahead and wrote down some notes of what you said, so you don't have to repeat yourself.
Okay.
And then the other thing,
Uh-oh.
the other thing I wanted to do research on are the weapons and powers within the Seelie and Unseelie courts.
Okay.
Oh no!
Go ahead and make an investigation check.
Damn it.
Y'all finna fight.
Really bad.
Oh
12.
Okay. So definitely say you get the information about the Oberian Conclave. In addition to that, regarding the Unseelie Court, one of the strongest sort of weapons that the Unseelie Court has at its disposal is kind of the nature of its members. So a lot of the sort of followers of the Unseelie Court are just kind of like, what's the word for it? They're kind of like corrupted sort of fey creatures and things. And so like their nature alone is usually that of being pretty dangerous, pretty smart, and like devious. And so typically those are the weapons used by the was it Queen of Shadow and Darkness, I think is her name, something like that. And they're used to pretty good effect typically. They are dangerous creatures. They are, capable of wreaking havoc among usually the Sealy Court is their target, but more recently they've also been engaging with the Oberian Conclave in the Feywild, and some of their members or followers or whoever it is that kind of is part of the Unseelie Court have actually been stolen by Oberius, and the fate of them is kind of unknown, but it's assumed that he's sort of trying to incorporate those into his army of beasts that he's been gathering and building. And then when it comes to the Sealy Court, they are they don't kind of have the nature of the Unseelie Court, but they do have kind of the Fey smarts, right? They're kind of able to be very kind of like their trickery, right? They're very, very smart, very capable when it comes to that kind of thing. And there is a tale of a powerful weapon within the Sealy Court that has been known as the Blade Song. It is a sort of a myth. It's sort of a legend. A lot of people say it doesn't actually exist. It's just a sort of school of arcana. There are some that say it is a physical weapon that you can possess, and it will imbue you with amazing power if you are the possessor of it. And there are others that say it is an ability that can be taught or learned. But what you do also know is there is sort of a school of magic that attempts to replicate the Blade Song. And so these have been known as Blade Singer Wizards. And they have essentially created a new school of offensive magic that takes the myth and legend of the Blade Song and tries to essentially replicate it to good effect. But again, as far as anybody can tell, it's not truly the Blade Song. It's just Blade Singers. And so it's a little bit different, but it is a school of offensive magic that mostly the Sealy Court and some people who sort of follow the Sealy Court have developed and implemented to pretty good effect.
Damn. All right. Well, some good research.
All right. Kami, you had your own errand that you were on.
I did. Question for you.
Mhm.
What is what's the postal service like in Cessor Doom? Like, is it like Game of Thrones where there's like ravens or falcons or other bird like pigeons or something that sends messages? Is it just like Pony Express? Like, what's the way that messages get sent?
It kind of depends who you're sending a message to. So because Cessor Doom is so decentralized, there are kind of established messaging routes that would have things like carrier pigeons that would send messages more quickly, but it's like on very specific routes. And then if you want to send something out by different means, it's usually over ground transportation and or sometimes by sea if you're going like coast to coast or something like that. And there are essentially it's like a private business that you can hire to like get this message somewhere. So there's no like government service that does it. There are some that will go like government to government as like a sort of the way like you might have like an embassy, right? It's like they want to keep communication open, so they have like a direct like line of communication through like a pigeon that would fly and deliver the message. So it kind of depends where you're trying to send a message to, I guess.
So, if an average citizen in Gel Lida would want to send a message to the Tororo houses, what would that process be?
Yeah, so you would hire out somebody to essentially carry it over land, or go, if they know that somebody's going in that direction, they would carry it that way. And within Gel Lida, probably honestly the people that would be most kind of like likely to be able to assist with that would probably be somebody at the Wanderer's Fortune, which is kind of like the Adventurers Guild here, but because they're the most frequently like traveling of the people around here, they usually have some sort of like connection or line of communication that they can send a message to. So if you wanted to like check in with somebody there about getting a message, that's probably your best bet.
Okay. I'm gonna head that way then and basically try to do just that.
Okay. Yeah, so you head over that way after kind of like speaking with some people at the Wanderer's Fortune for a little while. You are directed to a not a hobbit, halfling. A halfling who has a couple of large bags with him. And he is, as you kind of are checking in with people, you learn that this individual is heading up further north. He usually brings a number of goods with him to sell or trade. And if you were trying to get a message up that way, he would probably be a good person to send it with. His name is Yago. Jago. And as you kind of are directed his way, he's kind of seems to be packing away a lot of the things that he has with him as he's preparing to leave.
Excuse me, my little friend. Are you perhaps heading into the Heartland?
He kind of turns around and then just kind of looks up. Says, "Whoa! Yes, I am. Heading up north. You looking to go that way? I wouldn't mind a little muscle at my back. I'd pay you for it."
Oh no, I can tell from the look of you, you don't need any extra muscle, but I appreciate the offer. No, what I'm actually here to ask you for is, I'm hoping you might be able to carry a message for me.
Yeah, certainly. I got a couple I'm delivering on my way already. Where's it going to?
It would be helpful if you could deliver this to the Tovaro outposts along their southern border, if it's all possible. I don't know if you were planning on actually entering the plains themselves, or if you were just going to be passing through the vicinity, but I have a message that I need delivered to the Tovaro.
Certainly. I was not planning on getting too far into the plains. I was probably going to go up the Trans-Ordumian Highway, but I'd be happy to cut across the river and drop something off if you need it.
No, of course. I mean, there should be a Tovaro outpost on the eastern bank of the river there. Unfortunately, that is House Sekigai.
You're trying to get it to a specific house.
House Gvar.
Hmm.
House Gvar and House Tsukigai don't always play nice in the sandbox.
I have heard. I've been through the plains once or twice. Not exactly open to outsiders, but usually receptive of trade. The Tavoro. I'll tell you what. You throw me 1 gold, I will deliver it directly to House Gavar.
I will do that for you, little friend. In fact, I will give you 2 gold to deliver this to House Gvar and tell them that you never saw who gave it to you.
I can do that. You got yourself a deal.
So I'm going to hand him a piece of paper. It is addressed to Gvar Hanahin, who's my mother.
Mm-hmm.
And the message will be written in Kori, which is the Kalashtar language.
Mm-hmm.
And it will read, Gel Lida is unstable. The Baron's time may be limited. An organized resistance called the Plassant Guard is rising. Tell House Tudan and House Kalug to prepare for potential trade and resource disruption across the Heartland and beyond. The severity of the situation remains to be seen, but may call for a war garant and tomorrow peacekeeping efforts soon. Signed, Sapling.
Okay.
Well, you're just a little sapling, yes you are.
Yago takes the gold, takes the envelope, puts it with a different bag than the one he was already packing. And he says, I can guarantee you that as long as I'm alive, the message will get there securely.
I appreciate it, little friend.
And are you anticipating a return message? Should I wait for a message to be returned?
If there is a message to be returned, they will ask you then and there if a return message is possible. If they ask you, tell them yes, and bring it back here to the Wanderers Guild, and I will find you.
Understood. I should be back in a few weeks, hopefully.
Okay.
Back this way. I should be up that way in a matter of days.
Of course.
Well, much appreciated. And he kind of pockets the gold and starts kind of hauling up his bags, which they're not terribly big because he has to be able to carry them. And kind of starts packing his stuff to go. All right. Anybody else have anything that they were going to be doing today?
Nope.
All right.
I would like to get into the secret part of the library, but that doesn't seem possible right now. So I'll table it.
Seems unlikely.
Yeah.
So I would say we'll probably wrap up everything for tonight.
Yep.
But let's, just for the sake of this, we'll skip to the next day. If Kami wanted to go pick up his bracers. So early in the morning, you head back to Namita's, and you go in, and Elisha's there again, and she calls for Namita, and he comes out. He looks tired. He looks kind of exhausted, but he looks excited. There's kind of like a manic kind of look in his eyes, and he brings out this little wooden chest, and he opens it up, and you can just see there's like a reflection of light coming from it, and he kind of lifts up the bracers out, and you see these like stunningly white scaled bracers that are like pristine, and in like certain light it like shines almost like opalescent, and it's just like it looks super smooth but also like glitters coarsely. It's really kind of a strange look, and he kind of pulls them out and he says, this has been the most exhausting, most rewarding project I think I've undertaken in quite some time. It is a very challenging material to work with, but as you can see, I think it came out quite well. And
it is an impressive.
He hands you the bracers, and they are bracers of bracing. You can rename them whatever you want.
Really? Yeah. Wizards of the
they
Coast
are
really
in-
tried hard with that one.
They are in D&D Beyond, I believe, if you search bracers of bracing.
It's a real thing.
I made it.
Wow.
I made it.
Oh my god, I think I found it. Stunningly white, these bracers are expressively crafted. Ooh.
So you have to attune to them.
Okay.
but when you attune to them, you have resistance to cold damage.
Whoa.
Cool.
And they look
Super
like that.
cool. So good.
But yep, so you have those.
Yay! Thank you, Namita.
Watch out, Cone of Cold can't hit you as hard now. Hey.
And yeah, so if there, I think we'll probably end it there. I just didn't want Theo to have to go through a full another week of being like, "What are these?"
Why can't you just be normal?
But in the game, it was going to take him some time because it was a brand new material that he was working with.
That is fair.
So, but yeah, so I think we'll call it there, and you guys can decide kind of how you want to proceed the next session.
Hey.
Wow.
But
Hey.
So many things.
So much good role playing, everyone. Ooh. Julia, what you doing? Julia, what you doing? Julia, what you doing?
Stream.
Yeah. All right.
Oh yeah, bye everyone. Oh, we're playing next Sunday, right?
That's the plan. Yes.
All right.
All right.
Sunday the 30th.
Bye.
Hell
Yeah.
yeah.
All right. Bye, everybody.
Wait, oh wait, the stream's